guys. Good afternoon. Welcome back. Good morning. How is everybody doing? Thank you so much for being here today. Welcome to Gistmas Day 10. Wow. It seems just like yesterday that we started. Can't believe how fast the days are. The days are just going very quickly. I can't believe today is day 10 already of Gistmas. It's almost done. We are almost at Christmas. Fantastic. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Welcome, everybody. How is everybody doing? Happy Saturday. Welcome, welcome. Ajowe Saloto. Thank you very much for everyone that is stopping today to join this conversation. Iyabo Murenike, welcome. How are you? Caroline, welcome. Victoria, Neka, I see you. Pat Sunny, thank you. Kumbi, Arose, thank you so much for being here. I see you guys. I had you. Welcome, welcome. This show was supposed to be at 7 p.m. UK time, but England is playing today, and all the men in my house are football fanatics. So when England start playing today, and I think the match is going to start at 7, if they score, the noise will be too much. So I said, okay, let me just start my own and get it out of the way before all the football madness will start. Welcome. I know people are watching the World Cup. A lot of men watch football. Women watch as well. I used to be a football fan, but I stopped because football is too emotional for me. I couldn't. My heart cannot stand it. So I stopped. Thank you very much, everyone. Welcome. Give us a thumbs up. Today we want to talk about pack, what they call in Nigeria, pack and follow stay. When you pack and follow stay with a man that you're not married to, or you both call it cohabitation. That's what we're going to talk about. And we are going to use the story of Nia Long, this beautiful Hollywood actress who recently found out that her partner, what did they call them, fiance, was cheating on her, and they had to end the relationship. Ime Udoka is his name. After 13 whole years of being together, that's the story we are going to use as a backdrop. But I have some reasons, because some people believe in living together before marriage, and some people believe they are just very traditional about it. So I'm very traditional about it. I'm a Nigerian. Culturally, it is against my culture. I'm a Christian, and as a Christian, is completely against my Christian faith, right? And I'm not saying that people don't do it. So if you're going to respond, please bear that in mind. Chacha, you say you like me regarding football, soccer. Football won't give me heart attack now. Say, wait, serious like this. Messi is collecting millions of pounds and dollars. Me, I'm here every day. I'll be having sleepless night because of I want to buy millions of naira. So I just withdrew. I used to be very, very into football, but a long time ago, I borrowed myself sense that this thing is not for me. Even to today, all the football fanatics, when their team loses, come and see. I'll be laughing at them at home. You see my children, they won't eat. They will be angry, long faces because their team loses. Yeah. Jello, Joe, better go and eat. Maureen said Morocco has just beaten Portugal in the World Cup. Ah, I see. It's good to know that there are still some African countries left. Mm, right. We are rooting for them. We hope that at least they get to maybe semi or finals. It would be amazing for an African country to win the World Cup, don't you think? It would really be nice. Anyway, let's get to the gist of the day, because we're just going to be quickly getting into it and out. I have a lot to cover, so let's get into it. Please give us a thumbs up as you are coming in. Share the video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed before. And thank you very much. So, people who pack and follow stay. Somebody was saying the name they call it in Cameroon. Maureen said in Cameroon it's called come and stay. Come we stay. It's called come we stay in Cameroon, right? Okay. Thank you for telling me. I think that's pidgin, right? In Nigeria they call it follow stay or something like that. When you go and pack your bag and baggages and live with someone and there is no ceremony. Okay, if you have a culture where bride price is paid, is not paid, there's no church wedding, there's no registry, no form of ceremony, no contract, nothing. Follow, stay, come and stay, whatever you call it, come we stay. I've always maintained that it's women that are more at a disadvantage when you go and live with a man that you are not married to. Okay, I mean, in some cultures, like where I come from, it's actually very disrespectful to your family if a man puts you in his house without at least coming to see your parents and doing some sort of, introductions and getting to meet you. Is considered a big disrespect to the woman's family. So some fathers will not take it if you take their child and put their daughter in your house and you are living with her like marriage when you haven't come to do any ceremony. Mhm. So a lot of people have different views about this, but I'm just gonna be looking at it from the point of view of a Christian and a Nigerian woman, right? Bukola say in Warri we call it paper bag marriage because I'm a rinko paper bag bibawo because the woman will just use polythene bag to bring all her small, small, small things until she never leaves. I never knew you are from Warri, Bukola. Lóòótọ́. Wafi. Area. Na small, small, you go leave bra today, tomorrow you leave pant, next tomorrow you leave blouse, next tomorrow you go leave skirt, before you know, you go kuku sit down. Oh my goodness. Like I say, cohabitation leads to Abasha. To me, you dey do wifely duties, you have kids, and he might end up not marrying another woman. That's very, very correct. You said that with your full chest. You be wafi babe, Bukola. I don't know. You see something every day, we they know each other more and more. Yeah. So I'll first share the story of this Nia Long because this story is very intriguing. Then I will give you 7 reasons why I think, in my opinion, that women should not cohabitate. In fact, both men and women, it's not only women self, people should not cohabit as far as I'm concerned. Period. If you want marry, marry. If you don't want marry, make everybody stay. But first, let's talk about Nia Long. So this beautiful actress, when we grew up watching her movies, beautiful woman. That time if I see this Nia Long for movie, I would say, see as woman, fine. God finished work for her body. She has a fine shape, very sexy looking woman. We used to admire her. I used to admire her because she and who be that other one went fine like that. So Halle Berry were the ones that were so fine those days when we dey watch movie. Halle Berry was, oh my God, back in Nigeria. Go look and say, hey, God finished work for this one, buddy. So she's dating this, or she was with this Nigerian man. They are not longer together. She's 52 years old. Wow. 52. Interesting. And apparently, the man called Udoka, Ime Udoka, decided to, step out on their relationship. First of all, the question when I heard the story, I was like, how do you live with someone for 13 years and you still call him fiancé? Wait, abeg, wetin be that? No be juju be that. 13 whole years una dey stay together and they call each other fiancé and fiancé. Ewo ni fiancé and fiancé. Is it fiance? Which kind of fiance be that? Me ò rí irú ẹ̀ rí o. I don't think it's right. It's not right at all. It's not right at all. Anyway, they did because na obodooyinbo people now. These are Nollywood people. I be what they call them. Is it Nollywood or Hollywood? Hollywood. He made a lot of the rings, Bukola. Oh, ring come. You see this kind of thing? Anyway, 13 whole years they were together. And of course, the guy ended up cheating on her. Okay? And she found out, she even said that she found out online. That's where she found out after whole 13 years. So she finally issued a statement. Let me read that very quickly. That she said that she's ended their 13-year relationship after the former Boston Celtic head coach allegedly had an affair with a female subordinate. And na for where in the work, oh, maybe you never hear that kind thing where they talk say where person they work, they poo for there. So it had something to do with someone within the organization. I think he was suspended from the team. I heard from Ola's show, Man of Prestige, that he's gotten another coaching job somewhere in America now. You know, she said that the situation was unfortunate and painful, but she said she's focusing on her children and rebuilding her life. Hmm. So they are no longer together, but they've remained fully committed to co-parenting their son. The split came after the Boston Celtic, they had a press conference in September to address Udoka's suspension. So I think that's when she found out. I don't know how, some women are very good at this FBI work. Oh. When their man is cheating, they just know. But some women, they never ever know. They never ever find out. She said she didn't know. I think I read where she was saying that she was not happy with the way the whole thing was handled by the company, the the organization that Udoka worked for, because the children and everybody got to find out online about this whole incident. Mm? Tina said, here in Sweden, we see people living together for 20 years and be calling each other Sambo. What's Sambo? Is that Oyibo people or our cultural people, our black people? Hmm? They say he's gotten another job. That was very, very quick. He moved on very quickly. That's one of the reasons why I think this cohabitation of a thing is not very good. I did a video about it. I'm going to link it on this when I finish. I've always felt very strongly about it. I mean, as a young woman, I can't even imagine my father, if my father was alive, to find out that I'm living with a man that doesn't even have that respect for my family to come and see my father or my parents. I like you, I like your child, please. Because, we always talk about things and the way we talk about them sometimes seems like in the West, people they don't have any culture, but they do. I've seen movies where even white people, the young man will go to the father to go and ask for the man's daughter's hand in marriage. That's tradition. So it's not only in Africa that people do things like that. Hmm. And of course, as Christians, is a no, 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 no. Just because you are not supposed to be living with somebody that you have not has not left to cleave. Yeah, you're supposed to live to cleave. Abby, that's what Genesis told us now when he was talking about marriage. He said that for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united with his wife, and they two will become one flesh. So this is the Christian angle of it. Genesis 2:24. So if he's not living to cleave, I don't know what people are doing. I don't know what you are doing. Anyway, people are doing it and people have done it over the years. Okay? We're not here to judge them, but I'm here to tell you why. Personally, I believe that it doesn't favor you as a woman, especially, you know, if you agree to a situation like this. Listen, gentlemen and ladies, it is often said by even marriage counselors, Christian marriage counselors, that a man will only treat you the way you allow him. For instance, if a man suggests, hey, come and live with me, let's live together, and you agree, then it's fine. You will be enjoying, you'll be doing the duty of a wife. You will cook, you will clean, you will service him at night. You will keep a home without the commitment of marriage. Sambo means living together. Oh, I see. Mhm. And living together, cohabiting with someone doesn't guarantee that marriage is going to work. It doesn't, unfortunately. So I know it's a thing now. I mean, you should see the conversation I had with my children the other day. And Toby gave me this long, discussion about how you don't get to know somebody. And, I told him, I say, when you come of age, you want to cohabit with anybody, it's me that will go and look for I'll go and look for the girl's parents and go and tell them, "Hey, better come and take your daughter away. Oh. Don't allow this boy, because men will be men. Come and take your daughter away. Don't allow her to live free of charge, oh, until he comes. Until we follow him to come and say, okay, I want to marry." Hmm. Yeah. So that happened to Nia Long. Sad though, because I heard that she practically had to move herself from one city in America to go and cohabit with this man who was her fiancé for 13 whole years. When I saw that, I said, not be juju be this. How do you live with someone for 13 years? I mean, if somebody can just live with you and be calling you fiancé for 13 years, what is the guarantee that they are going to marry you if they can't get up to it? Now, time you no get, I mean, money you no get. Hmm? No all free for the whole of America. I mean, what is the problem for 13 whole years? Ha. So, yeah, I don't think it was. I mean, for me, if you're with a guy, according to what I'm even learning now, if you are dating for marriage from the beginning, you need to know that the guy is even in a place where he wants to marry. So you need to ask him, are you dating for marriage or you just want to date? Those are the questions that you need to ask. If you keep quiet, now so you go date there. So ladies, don't be afraid to ask. Men are not afraid to ask for what they want. It's we women that are always saying, I don't want to look desperate. I don't want it to seem as if I'm pushing. No, you ask. Hmm? Pastor K said that if somebody said they want to date you and you're together for 10 years, after 10 years, they can tell you, okay, I wanted to date you. Now you are dated, you can go. They will free you. Have they deceived you? Have they lied to you? No. This is what they told you they wanted to do. They never promised you anything more than dating. So women need to take control of their own situation by asking questions. You want to date me for what? Is it dating for marriage? Are you ready for marriage? And as a matter of fact, he did say in one of his videos that if the guy said, oh, let's just see, you say, okay, you can go. I'll keep my options open. If I don't, maybe you can come in a year's time. If I'm still available, if I'm not married yet, maybe we can. If you are ready, let me know. If the guy is serious, he go pick up. Somebody that likes you likes you. Mm. So women need to be open about what they want. Make we no pretend say we like living together when there is no marriage. Some people have lived together so long, self, they will now be calling themselves wife when you know that you've not been wifed. So I'm going to quickly share with you 7 reasons why I think people should not cohabit, or women especially should not cohabit with someone that they are not married to. This is how it impacts on you. Living together before marriage, for me, is a no, 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 no. Mm-mm. It's a no, 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 no. Number one reason that I'm going to give you, apart from the fact that as Christians, there's a lot of temptation when you are living with someone. You can't tell me that you are living with a man and you people are not doing kerewa. It's not possible. You know that. And you're sleeping in the same bed. You say, oh no, I'll sleep in the couch. You sleep in the bedroom and they deceive each other. Body no be firewood. Now must touch. Now must kiss before you know. Now don't they sleep together. So you're already living in sin. So apart from all that, it is very, very important that single people, date themselves. They spend some time, just loving themselves, getting to know themselves, understanding themselves, and growing, developing themselves. That's number one reason. So you have your own space, you have your own privacy, you have your own freedom, you have your own time to embrace yourself because you are not married yet. By the time you go and be living with somebody, you've given all that right to your space. Let me tell you something. Marriage sometimes and living with people can be annoying. They can be very, very annoying. So it's better you enjoy it now while you are still living in your own. You arrange your room the way you want. Maybe you are married to somebody who's very scattered. Some men are known to be very disorganized. They will open cupboard, they will not close it. They will put socks, shoes everywhere. And if you are somebody that is properly organized, you are structured, you are prim and proper, that is OCD almost. Ha! You know what that means? It's gonna get on your nerves. It's gonna bring a lot of fights, Especially if you keep telling that person, pick up after yourself, pick your shoes, pick your socks, don't do this, don't do that, and they keep doing it. So, for your own sanity, without commitment, it is better for you to have your own space. Even if it means living with your parents, it's fine. I know some, I mean, depending on your age, sometimes when you grow, you're matured, you are a professional woman or you are working, you have your own money, you might not want to live with your parents because you don't want them to supervise your going and coming, right? Back in Nigeria in those days, when I was a younger woman, if you lived on your own, it was a big deal. People used to read a lot of meaning into it, but now I think it's changed. A lot of women are living by themselves now. I think the society is more open towards it now. You don't need to live with your parents if you can afford it. But if your parents are, they are understanding, they are not disturbing you, you can still have your own privacy, like you have a big house. Why not? So that time that you spend by being by yourself is good. It's very important. You get to know yourself. You get to understand yourself. You get to develop yourself. You love yourself. Date yourself before marriage. I think it's very, very important because you will never get, trust me, guys. If you are single here, you better know it now in case you didn't know it before. Once you get married, you will never get that time back. Especially when you have children. Oh my God. You will never get those times back. There's no privacy. They will just barge into your room anyhow. They will open the door without knocking. Nothing. Your life is no longer your own. So yeah, I think people should enjoy that time of privacy when they have time to themselves. It's very, very important for you to develop yourself and get to know yourself. Enjoy being by yourself, your me time. Okay, that's number one. Number two, some people in the diaspora I see decide to live together because it is convenient, right? So they say, oh, if a brother wants to trick you now or he wants to get you to live with him, for instance, maybe you're a very good cook and they want to be enjoying that food every day without marrying you, they can say, babe, let's save on rent. See how rent is expensive now. London now, to rent a two-bedroom house in London, you're talking about, it depends on the area. Some areas in London, you're looking at 1,500. You're looking at 1,800. You don't see any apartments in London that is less than thousand. So let's save. They'll tell you, come on, let's share it. At least we'll put some savings out from, if we share an apartment, we'll cut down on our bills, right? Mhm. It's convenient, right? It's very, very convenient. Sharing is convenient, but it's not commitment. It's not commitment. And convenience is not love. Just because something is convenient doesn't mean that the person loves you or that the person is going to commit. So it's convenience. So if you are looking at it from purely a financial angle that you will save money by living with people that you're not married to, then that's convenience. And one person will be enjoying. You are the one that will be doing the wifely duty on a girlfriend budget. Maybe they haven't even proposed yet. Hmm? They have not proposed and you are living every day, you wash their clothes, you do wifely duty, you cook, do all those things. It's convenient too. The person that is enjoying the more will like it. Mm. Enjoy being by yourself. Convenience does not necessarily. If you want to share, let me give you this advice, guys, ladies. If you feel like rent is expensive for people that live in major cities like London, Lagos, Abuja, New York City, and all these big cosmopolitan cities where rent is very expensive, you can share with other girlfriends. You don't need to share with a man. You can look for women who work in the same environment or your girlfriends who live in the same city. You share. If you have a two bedroom, everybody has their own bedroom. You still maintain, your dignity. Don't share with a man because it's convenient. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right. Anyway, let's move on very quickly. Number three, rushing to live together. Because you rushed to live together. The love is sweetening you. Let me rush in. Oh, I can't wait to. I can't be away from this person. It's too sweet. When you first fall in love, how it is now. The thing is sweetening you. If you rush in, you can rush out. Mm. Because sometimes there are some situations that you face when you are married. It is the commitment that you have that comes from marriage that make you stay. So without that commitment of a marriage, then what is holding you? Why don't you just tell each other, "Pé, Oya, Ogbeni, I beg, F off, Jare. What is the meaning of all this nonsense? I'm tired." So you rush in, you rush out. That's why that commitment of marriage, no matter how heaven and earth will pass away, even the worst part of the world, they will turn it around. They will say it's partner, is this, is that. No matter what they do, it is only what God says about marriage that will stand, because God is the author of marriage. Marriage was not ordained by man, it was ordained by God. That's why you see whatever they are doing around it. Wọ́n kàn ń tọra wọn ni. Yeah, marriage will always be the cornerstone of the society. Mm. Yeah, so plenty cookies, so everyday cookies. Go they give the cookies, both the fried cookies and the cookies in the other room. Be giving away free of charge every day without commitment. That commitment is very, very important. Mm, very, very important. Lady Amon said, "I am unmarried and live alone. My father will never allow me have a boyfriend. My father will not allow me to have a boyfriend moving, even at my big age." Yeah. That is respect. Me, I see it that way, that any man that wants to put you in his house without going to see your father is disrespectful to your father. So yeah, no matter how woke you want to say you are, please, if a man doesn't respect your family, the chances of him respecting you is very, very small. If you respect your family, at least he will go and see your father. He will say, I want to marry your daughter. He will propose, he will do the thing, okay. Even if it's in 6 months, in 1 year, at least he's going to see your father. So any man that doesn't respect your father doesn't respect you. Shikena. That's just the truth. So yeah, your father is actually right, Lady Amon. I'm in that school of thoughts. Number 4, there is no excitement. If you eventually marry, like Nia Young now, Nia Long, is it Nia Long? Nia Long. She was living together with Doka for 13 years. So when they married, they even have a child together. Kiloku, what is left after 13 years and child together? What is the excitement? If they marry, now what's the difference? There is something new when you marry that you should at least embrace, that you are knowing. Even if you do visit each other, you spend time together. The fact that you are not living together should be something that you look forward to too. Like, like a present. You start to unwrap it to see what is inside. Everybody's excited. Oh, first night together, second 1 week together as married, and you're getting to know things. Being with each other 24 hours a day without nobody saying, I'm going now, good night. There's no excitement in it again. If you leave, if you rush to go and cohabit with someone, even if they mind, no wonder he cheated. He probably got bored. I'm not saying it's her fault too. As beautiful as she is, Ola was saying, if a man can cheat on this kind of woman, then that's to tell you that this thing, Onibo Sheje, Onibo Sheje, Nia didn't want marriage. Why were they engaged if she didn't want marriage? Rita, you say Nia didn't want marriage. Why were they engaged if she didn't want marriage? Hmm? Why did she accept the proposal? Why did they call them fiancé and fiancé if she didn't want marriage? I don't believe that. Anyway, let's get on. There is no excitement in it. No excitement when you're already living together. When you marry, it's normal. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, Temilade, I'm looking at your comment. You're saying that my friend who got engaged to her Caucasian boyfriend last week told me that the guy spoke to her daddy and sought his consent before he proposed to her. Yeah, that was so thoughtful of him. Yeah, white people do it too. You'll be surprised. It's not only Africans that have, it's not only us that have tradition. Yeah, yeah. Victorious. Being a single parent does not mean that It doesn't mean anything. Nia was a single parent. What does it mean? You are saying that Nia was a single parent before getting in with Ime. So, what does that change? Do you know if he has children with this philandra now? Do you know how many children he has out there? That doesn't mean nothing. Hmm? Let's focus on what is important. All right. Being a single parent doesn't mean that you don't deserve the same rights that a woman who doesn't have children has. You are still a woman. You still deserve to be respected. It doesn't mean anything. As long as he's willing to get with her, to get together with her, to be with her, then I mean, there are rules of engagement in this thing. As far as I'm concerned, 13 years of living with someone, cohabiting with someone, wahala lobade is too long. It's too long without commitment. Yeah. And my next point is neatly tied to that one, which is that there is no guarantee that marriage will happen. Even after living together, some people think, oh, if I live together, maybe he will marry me. It's just like some women in our culture that say, oh, I want to use um I want to use pregnancy. Let me use pregnancy and tie him down. I don't know whether that works. I don't even know whether it works. Mm, I don't know whether it works at all. But I've heard that some people married because they were tied down by women who got pregnant for them. All right. So there's no guarantee that living together with someone is going to bring marriage. They might still not marry you even after you live with them. No guarantee. And you see sometimes you can date someone, you date for all that 10 years, they didn't marry you, and the next person they date 6 months later or even 3 months later, you hear that the guy is married. That's how bad it is. So at the end of the day, now you lose. Now women they always lose. Do you know why? Because women have a biological clock. Now we get biological clock. Men no get biological clock. Now financial clock most of them get. A man who is 70, he go fit still marry, he go give person belle my uncle marry at 70 something. He born 3 old children before he kpai. I'm telling you. So women, make una borrow una self sense. That's why we're having this discussion because now women plenty pass for here. But you see the funny thing about women, now women go see they defend that situation. That is the thing that I find very sometimes it breaks my heart. Women defend patriarchy, they defend the ill treatment of women. Some women will be defending it. Anja ntori aja, aja ni ta ninja lẹ́yìn kùlé mi. You say something that will benefit my gender. My gender will still be the one that will say, ah, no, we like her like that. Oh my God. It is well. So there's no guarantee. Exactly. Maggie, yes. Why buy the cow when the milk is free? Nobody wants to take the cow home. When you can get the milk, what do you need the cow for? It's milk you need. You're getting the milk daily. That's a good example of, there's no guarantee that marriage will happen. Right? Mm? And my sixth point is if anything happens to him, and this one is very, very serious. Please, if you didn't take every other thing I'm saying seriously, take this one serious. If anything happens to him while you are living together, are you protected? Whenever I say this, some of you live in the US will come and say, common law, this, that. Please, I'm not talking to common law people. I'm talking to African women, especially the ones who live in Nigeria or who live in Africa. I'm not talking about common law. I don't know anything about common law in Nigeria. Are you protected if anything happens while you are doing this cohabitation, you are living with him? Are your children protected? What? Don't forget that marriage in Africa is where the families will meet too. You do introduction, mommy moe, you do engagement. So the parents get to know each other and integrate, get to meet each other. So they know each other. If anything happens to you or anything happens to the man, they know who to go to. They know your house. They know your village. But this one that you're living with someone free of charge, so if anything happens to you, who are they going to meet? If anything happens to him, Let's say it's the man. God forbid something happens to the man that you are living with. Hmm? What is going to happen to you? What are you going to tell these people? It is then they will now come and accuse you and call you a witch. Now you are the one that deleted their son. Hmm? They will now deal with you with all their culture. They will tell you that in their culture that you have to swear. They will tell you that they have to bathe the body of the person who is deleted, and you come and drink the water. You don't hear there are some things that happen in some cultures that you arrive by. You'll be scared because you never know. You never know what their culture is because you've never been to their place. You've never visited their village. They don't know your village. What about your children? And most importantly, what if you have assets together? Maybe you built a life together, you work together, you put your money together, you have an estate, different things, businesses, money in the bank, houses. What will happen to that? That is when you will know, pe kaki no be leather. I've heard stories whereby the in-laws will come and take everything. They will tell you they don't know you, that their brother never told them that he has a wife. There are some very wicked cultures, oh. So women, ẹni tó bá létí kó gbọ́. Protect yourself. It's very, very important because when they swoop in, if anything happens, that's when you will know. For instance, let me give you another example. There are some cultures in Nigeria where I hear it happens in the East, whereby if you didn't marry the woman and you have children, if the woman deletes and you take her home to her village to go and marry, they will tell you that you need to pay her bride price. That means you have to marry somebody that is deleted before you can bury her, or before they can even allow you to take your children. Iyanko, hmm? You didn't marry her when she was alive. Now that she's deleted, the family will insist. It's a culture. You have no choice. You will do it. So now, instead of marrying a living thing, you are marrying somebody that is gone. So that's why you see it doesn't pay. It doesn't pay anybody. I don't believe that is a good thing. Yeah. Some of you come from the East will know of that culture whereby they will tell you that if you didn't marry their daughter and you have children and you've been living together, that you must come and marry her now. When the person is deleted, come and pay her bride price. That one doesn't not have some kind of diabolical consequences for you to be marrying somebody that is gone, somebody that is not living. Ha! Ìyẹn lágbára o. In the night, this ghost will just come and meet you, say, "My husband, I have come. Let's do Korewa." You go freak out. You will run kati kati, run kitty kitty. Now that you go throw away all your clothes that day, you go say, you go say, "What are you running? I told you to marry me when I was alive. You didn't see my parents. Now I'm your wife. You can't run. Ara will suffer." Oh my God. You marry by force. You marry ghost. Nobody your ghost. You turn to husband of ghost. Ghost will be chasing you up and down because now you are married to a ghost. Eh? Okay. Oh. I believe it's very diabolical because it's human being. I've never seen anywhere in the world where it is not human being that get married. This one that one person that is not a human being again that is gone after life, you are marrying the person. Ha. Cherish Olivia is diabolical. Joe. I see it as something very scary. Oh my God. Similarly, say I watch too many Nigerian movies. It's Yoruba ones I watch. Oh my watch fufu. In the night, he will now come and say, husband, are you ready for me, my husband? He will tie cloth for chest. Now that time you gonna say, you say, hang by me. Blood of Jesus, blood of Moses. You go quote all the Bible when you know, carry Bible, they run. Nine goes go tell you, say, why are you running? I'm your wife. Why are you running? Oh my God. Oh dear. So I mean, talking seriously now, it was a good. It's good that we had a laughter with that. But talking seriously, please, oh, don't be in that situation. Mhm. I don't wish it on you. So do the right thing when you have the time, okay? When you still can, please do the right thing. Mhm. And my final point, which is the seventh point, I believe, is it doesn't change the trauma of separation. Cohabitation does not change the trauma. Breaking up is breaking up. For instance, Nia Long and Udoka now, 13 years of being together without marriage, without the commitment, but still how traumatized she is. She said that she was shocked. She had to withdraw her children from school. It was devastating for her. So when you break up after all that years of cohabiting and living together without marriage, it doesn't reduce the trauma that you're going to face. It's still going to be like a marriage that ended, because the same things that ended the marriage, the same issues can end living together outside marriage, but you will still feel the pain. Mm? So that's another big issue. Mama said, a culture in Ghana, the practice is done. You must marry the woman. If you don't do the needful, and she deletes. Oh, ho. Le bâton. Can you see that? So it's not only in Nigeria. That's what I'm saying. Somebody is saying in Uganda as well. Eunice said, actually, among Ugandans, the surviving spouse has no right to bury the deceased or have the children. So you see, different cultures. Hmm? Different cultures. So the trauma is still the same. I'm sharing my link now. I think Brad Patrick was in the studio before. He's gone now. I wanted to quickly run through the my points about this. So if you have something to say, you want to join us for a few minutes, use the link I come into the comment section. Either you have a story about people who have, lived together outside marriage and how it happened or what happened with them, or you have feelings about this. What do you think about it? What do you think? Or would you, as a single person, live with someone that you're not married to? If they invited you to come and live with them for whatever reasons, would you do it? I'd like to know. Share your thoughts with me. The link is in the comment section to come into the studio. Let me take some few comments. Sarah said, you are not protected when cohabiting. Someone just got matched out of the man's house by a relative and she got no access to asset they acquired together, which are in his name. That's what I was saying. That's the point I was making. That was my point number 6. Hmm. They will match you out because they don't know you. They don't know you because their brother never told them about you. They know he's living with a woman, but they don't know who the woman is. And he is the one that was protecting you. Once he goes, all that protection is outside the window. And some family, they don't smile. Though. They can be very mean, especially the selfish and greedy ones who wants to collect everything that the person worked for. Hmm? They really want to deal with you. So they don't care. All they care about now is how they can grab everything the man worked for. Even wives gone, they have to fight to get what rightly belongs to their children. Much less you where no even get anything to prove that, you know, that you have a right to to the properties that you both built together. Because let's be honest, if you're with a man for 10 years, 13, 15 years, whatever, there's no how he's achieved anything that you did not contribute. There's no how. You would have contributed financially, emotionally, spiritually. You even if now only prayer you sabi pray that you were praying for him, he's going for a contract or he's going for a job, and you were praying for him. "Kolo Njeko bossy." That's something you've contributed. You are nursing the children, especially when they are children. So how would you feel if anything happens to that person and you are left with nothing? It's not fair on and unfortunately a lot of our brothers or a lot of people we talked about wills here, they don't have will. They don't have any will. If you talk about will, they'll say, you want to delete me. Why are you telling me to have will? So without wills, some people will still have wills gone, nobody will enforce it. The family will just swoop in and take everything. Then the children will start suffering. So it is important that we protect the people that we love. Just like we are talking about life insurance the other day. Hmm. Okay, yeah, so cohabitation is never advisable, whether in the Western countries, but it is dangerous in our African country. Very, 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 very. It's not advisable at all. Julian Lifestyle says, I did it before, but I'm regretting it now. But luckily we end up having kids and getting married. Oh, wow. You want to talk to us about it, Julian? Come into the studio and tell us a little bit about it. You ended up having children. Yeah, a lot of women do it. Women do it. I think just, living with someone gives a sense of, makes some women feel secure. And they always think that, especially if the man keeps promising you that he's going to marry you. Kudirat says, Kudiratu, yes, sis B, the trauma indeed. Mine was 18 years. Raised mine and his children. And he was a widower with 3 and 6-year-old kids. You engaged and after 5 years refused marriage. You had a child. He changed. He's married. He married a workmate. Wow. Wow. Look at that. 18 whole years. And you raised his children. And you were engaged for 5 years. But he refused marriage. After one child, he changed. Wow. Wow. You see? So that's a learning for people there. If you think that, oh, because he's a widower, you see, without even knowing the nitty gritty of your story, Kuduratu, I can tell that a widower who has young children, 6 and 7 years old, it needs a nanny. So he may have been with you because he wanted you to raise the children for him. If he's working, he needs somebody to look after the children. So you felt needed. Women always like it when we feel needed. You feel like, oh, you know, he needs me. So you were raising his children and, ended up having your own, but still he didn't marry you. See? Wow. He married a workmate. That's the point I was making about, even if you live with them, if they don't want to marry you, they will not marry you. What is said, times have changed. Women are beginning to establish themselves. You don't believe this applies a lot these days. Ah, I see. I don't know the times that have changed. Go and cohabit. You come back and tell us the story after 5 years. If you didn't hear the story that I just narrated now, that Kudira just told us, go and cohabit, Wordy. When you finish cohabiting, then you tell us whether times have really changed or not. Some things never change, my dear. Favor say, my ex did the same thing. The same thing happened to me. His family people came. Oh, the stepmom said that the guy should stop sending her money because of me. Wow. These are real testimonies of people who've done it. Let's read what Julian has to say. I was cohabiting and I discovered my mother-in-law never loved me or like it. And so one day she said to me, I'm living with this man. What if something happens to him? What will I do? Hmm. Very good question. Very, very good question. We have a caller, Maisha. Hi, good evening.
Hi, Auntie B. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm outstanding. I'm calling from the U.S. I'm a first time caller. I'm American. But my first son, I had him for an Igbo man. And unfortunately, he passed away when my son was 5 months old. So I had to learn all about Nigerian culture. But that's neither here nor there. I'm calling about this issue that we're discussing right now. And one thing that I want to offer, I agree with you as far as marriage goes for every woman in on the continent of Africa. However, in America, one thing that I want you to consider, Nia Long has been a successful actress since she was about 13. And I don't mean minimally successful. She was blowout blockbuster African American movies. So she is a African American sweetheart. And anything that she touches is going to be successful. Subsequently, she is very rich. If she had married this man and
Hmm.
they were married and this thing would have happened in America, here, women have to pay alimony. It
Yeah.
happened with Wendy Williams when she separated from her husband. He cheated on her, had a baby with another woman, and his alimony just ran out. And he just is trying to get more money from her. And when you make the more money in the US and things break up, even if it's the husband's fault, if you have created a lifestyle that he is used to, we have to pay. So a lot of
Does let me ask, does
yes,
what do
ma'am.
they call it? The prenup that all these celebrities sign, does it not protect them from all
Okay, a
this?
prenup is only for when you are married, and most of the time it is a point of contention, right? Because you have
Hmm.
one person who has more than the other and feel like they should advance with you. So, like when basketball men do it, sometimes it women call off the marriage because you're saying you want me to walk away with nothing. Or you want me to just walk away what I came in with. So I might have had a Honda Accord when I came into marriage, but I married a man who has Benzes and Maybachs. You understand? So I may not want to drive my Honda Accord. But my point is that if Nia Long had been married to this man for 13 years of their engagement and he cheated on her and her bank account is longer than his in this USA, she would be paying him alimony, which is why a lot of successful black women, when we know we have more money than the man that we're dating, there's no marriage. We just stay engaged forever. We have kids, we live life. But when we leave, I get to keep everything that belongs to me. Jennifer Houston just went through this. She was with a man for forever. He had a career as a wrestler, but she is a huge singer and an actress and everything else. So she never married him. And when they broke up, he got to leave and she got to leave with all her money. So
So,
yes,
what I understand that. I understand that. So, women are trying to protect themselves in the US when you have more money than the man that you are marrying, right? Or the
correct.
man that you are with, by not
With
getting married,
right.
right?
Because he can still sue you on the back end and say, well, I've been with you this way and I've lived a wonderful life with you. I'm gonna need money to maintain this. In the United States, a judge will hear that.
Mm-hmm.
He has less ground if we are not married. He still can sue her on the back end and say, well, I don't want to go back to living in my, let's say, 5 bedroom house. When I was with her, I had a mansion and servants. So in
Mm.
the US, the law works differently. I agree with you. In Nigeria, that makes no sense at
Yeah.
all. When
Yeah.
you are courting, yes, come to your house, meet your people, do the traditional, do the legal one. But in this
Mm-hmm.
United States of America, black men look at us like they are the woman and we are the man. You have to understand our culture
Hmm.
is different. My mother was independent. She had a master's degree. My great grandmother used to say, don't have more babies than you can take care of. My
Mm-hmm.
great grandmother would say she grew up in racist white America and she said there's nothing lower than a black woman. The Puerto
Hmm.
Rican woman has family who will come for her. The Asian woman has family who will come for her. Nigerians will fly from Niger to come get their people from America and fly. When my baby father died, those people came from Abuja and took his body back, and I had his son. They wanted to take my son from me, but they didn't understand that I had been born in a culture that I'm not going to have more babies than I can take care of. I had my place, I had my job, I had my money, and my mother's backing was steadfast and unmovable, grounded. That my son was born to me.
Were you married to the
Negative.
Nigerian man?
Absolutely no. I wasn't marrying him at all. My goal
Hmm.
was to have a baby for someone who did not have a child. See, in America, there's not a lot of choices of men who don't have child. I was 30. I
Wow.
didn't have any.
Are
Go
you
ahead.
serious? There
I'm
are not
dead
a lot of
serious.
choices for men who don't have children.
Every man over here has children. They start having them from they're 16. It is
Wow.
very rare to find a man who doesn't have a baby mama. I didn't want to deal with that. I was living my life. I was happy. And I knew that when I had a baby, I wanted it to be somebody else's first time as well. My
Hmm.
baby father, what made Osita Nwankwo a good man was the fact that even though I knew I didn't want to be with him for life, but I liked that I knew that he would be grounded in his Igbo culture as a Black American. My
Hmm.
parents taught me about Africa before I even went to school. I was taught Swahili. My parents were Black Panthers, so they were all about Black prosperity. If it ain't Black, it's whack. So I grew
So,
up. Mhm.
are you saying that this is a choice that women in the US, black women in the US who have their own thing going, this is a choice they are making to protect themselves?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? No, we don't want to play. A lot of look. Sometimes as a black American, we are so
Do people agree with
successful.
this? I mean, do people
That's
agree? Those of you who live in the US, I like to hear opinions about this. Obviously, like I said at the beginning, I don't know if you joined us at the beginning.
yes, I've been
I
here.
did say that,
I'm a subscriber.
yeah, all right. But I'm listening. Yeah.
So your culture is different. We are not, my mother never taught me to depend on a man. She taught me to make myself, build myself, make my own. And when I'm complete, then I go look for a man. She said, if I'm not serious, look, go find you someone you can have a good time with, but don't get serious. We start with contraception from we're 15 and 16. My mother
Hmm.
took you to this. I used to work in OBGYN. Black American women bring their daughters in and put them on birth control pills. Give them the shot because if you want success, a baby holds you back in this country.
Hmm.
These men look at us like we're the man. They want when we do well. There's certain things they know about us. We're gonna keep a roof. We're gonna drive a car. We're gonna eat well. We're gonna have a good job. That job is gonna have benefits. So it's a lot of men out. This was why we look for. I've always looked for men who came from other countries because I never
Why do you
wanted.
think black men who are Americans have become this way? Why?
It's a long history that I think a lot of Africans don't understand. We are the only people who was held captive in a country and released in the country to live among our captors.
Hmm.
They made it, imagine if the Jews were freed in Germany and they still had to live with the Germans after the
Hmm.
Holocaust. We are
Hmm.
the battered woman who still lives with our abuser.
Hmm.
Just imagine it. Our abuser says, "Oh, I'm not going to beat you anymore," but you still live in the house with them. That is who African Americans are. We didn't
Well,
when
I mean,
Niger
women went through that as well. How come the women seem to have moved on? Not moved on,
because
but
it
they.
was always the black woman who had to do it, even in slavery days. It was us who ran our breast milk to our black men after they were being tortured. But a lot of people don't know the history of African Americans. It upsets me because
So,
people don't know what
okay.
we went through in this country and it's not respected. Even other cultures will come and tell their kids to not deal with us because you truly have not sat down and ever studied African American history in America.
So what I'm asking is,
Mm.
I understand what you're saying.
Why are we
I
successful and our men are broken? Because till this day, you can come to America and see a black man strangled under a white man's knee while he's on his job. The black woman is the backbone of any society that she is in, whether it is Nigerian, whether it is Haitian. Ask the Haitian women who takes care of the family in Haiti, which
so
is
the
one of
black
the
woman is
poorest
stronger.
countries. It's
The black woman
always
is
the
stronger.
woman. You can go
Yeah.
to India and the woman is still the primary caretaker. It is the woman who is, God gave us that extra.
Okay,
So
so I don't want to go political. You
I'm
have a
not, I'm
very
not,
good point.
I am
Yeah,
not.
Maisha, you have a very good point. Talking about it from the marriage point, and I'm
Perspective,
being,
yes.
yeah, the marriage perspective about how people view marriage in America. Is different from how we view marriage in Africa, right?
Exactly.
Completely different. I
Completely
understand that.
different. Completely.
Yeah.
And I used to only date Nigerian men exclusively because
Mm.
I wanted the culture. I wanted to be attached to a land other than this land. I don't want to die in America. They've already spilled my people's blood. They still spill it. If you look at the statistics, the black man is the number one hunted man here. You can kill him and not even get any time. We
So
deal with that
somebody is saying
every
something
day.
here. Mo is saying something. And this. Let me read it. She said that are we not, or no one is going to talk about government assistance that favors unmarried mothers, hence the discrimination of the black family. You can claim assistance for each of your child or each of the kids that you have. Is that a reason? I mean, I don't know whether he or she is trying to say that's a reason why black women don't want to get married, but oh, Mosha is gone. Wow, that's interesting. Really, really interesting. Okay. Oh, that was deep. Thank you very much for calling us. I don't know what happened. Your internet just went off. Twinkle Gigi said, yes, I'm educated. I'm independent until I'm in a relationship heading for marriage or I am married. Once married, I am not. I'm under the protection of my husband. Okay, I don't get you. Let me just leave that. Kitchen connoisseur, welcome.
Hello.
Unmute yourself, sis.
Sorry, I've unmuted myself. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much. I need to give you your flowers. You are amazing. Thank
No,
you.
you're amazing too.
No,
Thank you so much.
thank you so much for your help with this work. I can't do it by myself. And, you know, the testimony is coming. It's still going to come live and she's going to come and testify. But, you know, thank you. Thank you.
Can't wait for it. Anyway, I jumped onto the program just a few minutes ago and I heard there was talk of cohabitation. And I just wanted to talk about cohabitation in the United Kingdom.
Right.
So cohabitation in the United Kingdom, there are no rights as yet. However, there's a Bill of Rights for cohabitation that is being mooted about. There was one that was posted last year in 2021. It's yet to be passed. This will give cohabitating partners the right to a financial settlement and the right to force a sale in the event of there being a home. At the
Right.
moment, those rights don't exist. So, if you live with a guy and decide you don't want to get married, you live with him and you own the house, having said that there are no rights, the person can still claim some things from you. Let's use the example of a house, for instance. If you then decide that you are going to focus on the marriage, and this person who's living with you pays all the other bills, and maybe once in a while they do some DIY, they may change a bathroom. I know a situation of someone who converted to change the bathroom and put in a new kitchen and so on. And when they broke up, they were able to claim that they had participated in looking after the house. They didn't pay the mortgage, but they did other things that allowed the party that was paying the mortgage to pay the mortgage.
Right.
So, in other words, they had a 50-50 share of the property. So he was saying, I paid all the other bills in the house and
Mm-hmm.
I contributed significantly, and I let you focus on paying the mortgage. So people need to be aware of things like that when
Yeah.
deciding to cohabit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. That's in the UK.
In the UK, and
Do you
same
happen to know what happens in your country, in back in South Africa?
in
Oh,
Zimbabwe and South Africa,
in
because
Zimbabwe and, and Southern Africa. Do you know
because
what?
because there are many different types of marriages. I don't know if the same in Nigeria. The types of marriage, there's what they call the Chapter 37 marriage, which is like the formal marriage, which is the court marriage, like the English. It's Chapter 37 because that's the legislation it comes under. And so
Mm,
with that marriage, it's like an English marriage that you get in any registry. So you have the rights. The wife, only the wife or the husband has rights. The parties to the marriage have the rights. Any other party that comes after that doesn't have any rights. However,
mm.
there is another type of marriage which is called the cultural marriage, the common law marriage. So the cultural, the common law marriage is the marriage that basically allows polygamy. So a man can marry as many as possible, and all those wives
To
are
be
entitled.
protected. Mm,
Yes, they are protected under that law.
mm,
And then there is now a new law that also looks after what we call the small houses. The
mm-hmm,
small house is, we have a big house, which is basically the legal marriage, and the small house is a side chick. So
mm,
that marriage now says if the side chick has been around for about 2 years or so, she's entitled to something, even though she was a side chick. It doesn't matter if you had a common law marriage or you had a Chapter 37 marriage.
mm,
It's written into the law that that person is entitled something. And
mm.
something they are entitled to is not written down or defined. It's subject to the court's interpretation of the contribution of the partners, of the parties.
Wow. all these legal things, is all I mean, it's all so tedious, to be honest. People are getting married these days. You are wondering, is this a business transaction? If you're already thinking of, oh, I don't want to get married because I don't want you to take my property. I don't want, like Moisha was saying about how, black women in the US who are successful are afraid because they want to protect themselves. I mean, it's so sad. This is where the world has come to,
It
where
has.
even from the beginning, you're already thinking of, okay, if we need to end, there's a plan B for me. Isn't it
Yes.
sad?
And a prenup as well. I had someone mention a prenup. A prenup is not airtight. It can be contested, and a
Hmm.
prenup really means that it's a gentleman's agreement. You've shaken hands and you've said we're not going to mess each other about. But if taken to court, it can be torn apart. Because people can
So
then.
there's nothing like ironclad, like Sweet Pea say you should get here. She said to get an ironclad prenup. He said Candy Burros did it.
Well, you know what you'd do with that? That just becomes more than a prenup. It becomes maybe a business contract.
Hmm.
Because if it's a prenup, basically in a partnership, someone can claim that you are successful in, say, for instance, someone like Jeff Bezos or somebody who's highly successful can say, well, I've looked after the children, I've sat at home, looked after the children, looked after the house, entertained for you, and enabled you to succeed on our behalf. I have been
Hmm.
part of that success. I have a
Hmm.
in you succeeding. And as a result, I need something from that. And if they can prove and evidence that they've had a hand in helping you, then they can contest it.
Hmm. Wow. Thank you so much, Kishin Kanesa, for that.
That's all right. That's okay.
I
I thought I'll
appreciate you.
jump in there and just say that very
Yeah.
interesting and enlightening topic. Oh my God. Are we ever
Thank you.
going to get married?
I don't know. This marriage thing now is scary. Honestly, it's really, really
It's
scary. With
frightening.
all this prenup, all these, women, men, everybody trying to protect themselves. Oh my God. Seems like the love is completely gone out of it, or nobody is thinking about, maybe I don't know. I don't know. Marriage is different concepts, Like she said, like Moisha said, and for Africans and for people who live in this part of the world or in America, maybe what marriage means is a different thing, So I don't know, but it just makes me sad to see the extent that people are going. And then again, I don't blame people for protecting themselves because you never know. Like the example she gave about Wendy Williams, I saw a video of Wendy Williams the other day. I almost wept. It was so sad. I didn't even know she's been sick. This woman could barely, you see the way she was walking, she was staggering. And the ex-husband is still milking her. And he was the one that cheated. So, I mean, I completely understand why women who are richer than the men that they want to marry want to protect themselves. That is so sad. I'm thinking, if this man, the man, did he ever love her? She's sick. And he's still getting money from her to live with the person that he cheated with or whoever he's with now. Ah, now wow. Oh my show. Anyway, I want us to focus on the topic. All right. We're not talking about marriage. Like we're talking about living together before marriage is the topic. I feel like we are drifting a little bit. But Kitchen Connoisseur brought us back and said that in England, no law yet to protect you. So ẹ jẹ́ kó rí wa pé. Let us know what we are doing. No, let us know what we are doing. Right. Yvonne, welcome. Where are you joining us from? Hello, Yvonne. Okay, I can't hear you, Yvonne. So I'm going to go to someone that is smiling here. Easy search. Is it Ease search?
Hi, Auntie V. Good
Hello.
afternoon.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you, my
I,
darling. Where are you joining me from?
I'm joining you from the US.
Welcome.
All right, thank you so much for your channel. I've been a subscriber for years. This is the first time I'm calling in. Um, your channel has kind of guided me in my relationships, and it has really been helpful. So thank you. I remember my boyfriend broke up with me because I'm always listening to you, which was a good
It's a
thing.
lie. No way. Hey, Bami, you broke up with you for watching a YouTube channel?
They're like, you're always listening to Auntie B, whatever, whatever. I'm like, she doesn't say anything bad. She's always been objective and all of that. But I mean, it's just a whole lot. He wanted 6 children. I was not ready to have 6 children with him. And you know that
Why
thing
did he
you said
want
that
6 children?
he's the only son. You know the Nigerian culture. I'm a Nigerian, by the way, from Edo State. He was also from Edo State too. He was
Mm-hmm.
like, I want to have 6 children because my mom didn't start having kids on time. I'm the only son and all of that. I'm like, I'm not the cause of your problem, and I will not be the solution to it. So I like Auntie B always say when people say what they say or when they tell you who they are, don't doubt them. That's who they are. um my mom was like, I don't think it matters when you guys are married, maybe you have 2 children, it's gonna change his mind. I told my mom I don't want to be in that kind of messy
Six
situation.
children. I mean, what's his job? Is he rich? Can he afford 6 children in the
That
US?
he cannot. He
And
can't.
he wants his children.
I don't have that. I don't have that kind of mileage to give. And
This
then
is so
I think
funny.
I was 28. Well, we broke up. That has been in the past, and I just kind of taking a break and taking my time. For
Mm-hmm.
this topic, I have 4 stories: two in Nigeria and two here in the US.
Only you.
So I learned from my aunties and my
Okay.
friends too.
Tell us.
So one of my big cousins was living with a guy in Lagos. I think they lived together for like 3, 4 years. It now became a big deal. It's like we were begging the guy to come and pay a diary. It was
Mm-hmm.
bad. So it has to take the intervention of my dad, that they call him Big Daddy and all of that. It was not like, um, has your diary be paid and we're not aware? Where is your husband? Or did they pay the diary at the back of us like we're not aware? And it was kind of embarrassing to my dad. And my dad was like, okay, you know what? There's an ultimatum to this.
Hmm.
Either this diary is paid or you're going to come back home. It's becoming embarrassing. So the guy and I had to do like a quick maneuver and that kind of rush thing. Like you said, there'll be no excitement because they've already been living together and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like the story that happened there. So my mom told me that whether she's alive or not, I should not live with a guy if I'm not married to him, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
That if he doesn't pay it at the beginning, he's never gonna pay the dowry or whatever it is. That commitment is never gonna happen. It
Yeah.
always favors the man. And you're saying the same thing too. So that's the first story. The second story is my uncle. My uncle was with this woman. They are living together for more than 12 years. They have 2 kids.
In
And so
Nigeria.
yes, in Nigeria. And when
Okay.
this, my uncle's wife, my uncle's wife or partner's mom deleted, they told him there's a kind of whatever he needs to do when your in-law gets deleted, right? They told
Ceremony.
him
Yeah.
yes, he could not perform me because he was not recognized.
Hmm.
And they're like, that has to be done first.
Yeah.
So the burial rites still happened, but my uncle was never able to participate because the diary was not paid.
Wow.
He could not do those rites. And
Hmm.
so when after the burial and everything, he was like, now he's ready to pay the diary. But you know what? The mom was not even alive to even see the diary being paid on my uncle's wife. That
Hmm.
was kind of painful for me. And to be guess of when even when the diary was paid, the marriage only lasted 2 years. And they've been
Hmm.
together for 12 years and they have
Wow.
2 children.
Hmm.
So that's the second story. The third story, my girlfriend that is here, God bless her heart, she left Nigeria, the imported spouse thing.
Mm-hmm.
She told me the husband left the US to come to Nigeria to get engaged to her. She's Yoruba, by the way. And so she left in a 300 level. You know that, oh, when I get to the US, I'll go to school here and all of that. And I bet her friends were jealous of her because she was in a private school. She was in a 300 level. She was like, babe, I came to the US. We started living together. I was doing all call me, first year, second year, the third year. They didn't go home to perform the diary. He didn't send his family home to perform the diary in his behalf. Like he didn't do anything. it became a problem for her because her family started disturbing her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if you guys have done introduction, your diary has not been paid.
Yeah.
And it became embarrassing to her. And meanwhile, they didn't have any child,
Right.
right? Then before you know, the mother-in-law came and started living with them in the US. And she
Hmm.
said, when she was telling this
Problem.
guy's mom, like, my
That's
family,
problem.
yeah, when she was telling this guy that my family said my diary has not been paid, she said the mother-in-law told her, you don't have any child for us. I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? Why are
Mm-hmm.
you saying that? Like, what is the reason for marriage? Is that not for companionship? Children is like an added advantage. There are other ways you can get kids, even if you guys are not getting kids now. So I
Not
was
for the
like,
not for the mother-in-law. She comes from a different breed. Yeah.
but Auntie B, if that diary was paid before she left Nigeria to the US, the mother-in-law will not be saying that, right?
That's the now you've come to what I was saying earlier on, my dear. That is where the commitment is. That's why I said one of the points I was sharing, I said that if you are not if you don't have the commitment in place, yeah, as
Mm-hmm.
Africans, I'm talking as Nigerians now, yeah, if you don't have that commitment in place, then these are all the rubbish that will happen because you haven't got it in place. There's no protection for you as a woman. So the mother-in-law can say that if you're not pregnant, there's no need to marry you. Who knows whether you even give us children? But if they were
And
already married, she wouldn't say that.
right. So Auntie B, she came to the US, she didn't go to school again. She was struggling to cope with the educational system here. She kind of regretted she finished school in Nigeria before she came here. By the 50th of this marriage, that was the end. They were not they kind of signed court marriage here like that, like they signed paperwork and everything here. They were married in the US, but the family insisted that her dowry needed to be paid because that's the marriage we know, not the sign of
Yes.
paper here, because both
Yes.
of them are Nigerians. So
Yes.
that didn't happen. She left. She was done. Now she was looking for a guy that was willing to pay the dowry. After spending 5 years with that guy, no, at least she got her papers, but no child, no property. Even they had a house, she moved out of the house because the mother-in-law was also giving her problem. Like she left with nothing apart from her
Hmm.
papers. Like she was left
After
with no education. So she
hmm,
dropped out from school. No education, no child. Like
hmm.
nothing apart from papers. I was like, at least I'm glad you got the papers. She was telling me she wanted to leave before the paper. Like, I was like, babe, are you crazy? Stay there,
But
get
she's
everything
even
done.
happy. I mean, to be honest, you can look at it from both ways. For me, I would say that she's lucky not to have children because children bind you with people for life.
Right,
With him, yeah. So now
right.
she's living on a clean plate. So if she meets
Yes.
somebody else that she wants to, fuse her life with after she heals, then she can have children. So
Oh no,
it's a blessing
now she's
in
not
disguise.
married. Now she's
She's
not
married
married. When
now.
she Yeah, she's not married now, and she and the guy didn't date for up to 2 years. So the new husband now went to go and pay her dowry because that's what she said from the beginning. Like, are you coming to pay dowry or not? Like, I've been down this route before. I'm not doing it again.
Hmm.
So the new guy paid for dowry, but the interesting thing, the person is in Nigeria. Well, that's our personal preference. So the fourth
Wow.
story, my girlfriend that
Okay,
that I've
run
learned
through
a
it
lot.
quickly. We got a
The
lot of
first
people
story,
waiting. Yeah.
my
I'm still
girlfriend that
interested
was,
in that your own that wanted six children. That's bizarre. Is he married now? Has he got someone to give him six children?
I don't know, from the blues. He sent me a text. He sent me baby shower something this year.
He
No, I don't
started on
think
the
so.
journey of the six children already.
I'm not interested. And to be honest, I wasn't interested. It was just a done deal for me, right? So
Block
my
him.
friend that
He
was,
shouldn't have access
my,
to you again. Because next thing, if he's not happy, he'll start texting you. Block him.
I blocked him. He used a new number to reach out to me. I didn't even
I've never
know.
heard somebody say that somebody left them because they were watching Obodo TV.
It's a real thing. When you say their husbands are angry, like Auntie B say, was a boyfriend safe. Auntie B,
Eh,
you
even
don't, you don't.
boyfriend too. He's doing kita kita, doing kitty kitty on top of what?
So
On top of what now? You're not even husband. You don't even pay bride price. Why are you doing kitty kitty? You're doing kitty kita.
it was easy. I just let the guy go.
Oh
Okay,
my god.
my girlfriend that got married, she lived with this guy for almost 2 years. She said she had to put her feet on the ground. I'm like, dude, this is the time. Like, if I'm not married to you by this time, I'm gonna go. So it took
Mhm.
about 2 years. Like they lived together for the first year, and she was like, "No, I'm not gonna keep doing this." Like, so the guy quickly had to engage her by the second year and all of that. And she told me she's a medical doctor and all that. She told me that, babe, see, if I'm to do it all over again, I'm not going to live with a guy before getting married to him. It's not worth it. She was just telling
Mm.
me, you to just be careful, don't do that. It's not gonna work. Our parents were right, but we're at work, we tend to be like, oh, let's live together and see if we can um if we can cope with each other. He said when you get to the
Yes.
marriage, you look for all that. But before the marriage, if she's to turn back the hands of time, she's not going
Mm.
to live with the guy because there is not like I have to put the timelines, I have to do this. It was stressing me out because now she wasn't going out on dates because she was committed to this guy without a
Yeah.
marriage.
Mm.
So those are the first stories, and thank you for all you're doing. I'm so
Thank you, my
excited.
darling. I think the thing about knowing these stories or knowing people who were in this situation is that it helps you to make informed decisions about your own relationship. So if somebody is bringing any BS your way and say, "Oh, let's try. We live in America. Don't worry. That's Niger thing. Let's live together. So we'll get to know one another." Mm-mm. No, thank you. You live in
Thank
America, but
you.
you are a Nigerian.
Yes,
Okay?
yes, and that culture still hold and is still
It,
strong
it
overall.
does,
It
it
is.
does, it does. And somebody mentioned something earlier on in the comment section. I pinned it. He said we need to have this conversation because we are raising kids in this part of the world now who think they are African American or they are Americans or they are Britico. No, you are Nigerians, you are Africans. Mhm. You
Right,
just live here.
right.
So I mean, things need to be. You learned. So that's good. You
Yes,
know
I
what?
learned. What?
I think you dodged a very massive bee. With that one, I wanted
Thank
to
you.
yeah, you dodge. Because for somebody to be telling you from the onset, I want 6 kids in America, and he's not somebody that he can even afford it, I'm wondering where is that coming from? It seems like
I
a
don't
red
want to go
flag.
AY. I don't think I can cope with that. I already know it was just. I could have. Honestly, I could. I already knew the end from the beginning. I know the marriage will not last. I would have left, but I didn't want to
Mm.
put myself through all the. I'm in my 30s, and all those pressure and all of that. Like, nah, you know what? I'm worth more than all of this. Dude, just be on your way. I'm done. It's okay.
Amen. Well done. I'm so proud of
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much, my
Auntie
darling, for sharing.
V.
Well done.
Thank
Well done.
you.
Keep knowing yourself and keep loving yourself. You know the person that values you, the person
Right.
that will respect you and respect what you stand from. They're just around the corner. That's
All right.
until you do away with the shafts. When you want to cook beans now, you need to remove the stone before you can get to the real beans. Until you remove all the stones and all those ones, if somebody will have a problem with you as a boyfriend because you are watching a particular channel, that's to tell you he's a controller general of
Right.
custom. He wants to come and control your life. When you marry them, they will tell you how to dress, they will tell you where to sit, who
I
to
will
talk to, who
run.
to make friends with. They
I will.
will control
Auntie B,
your
I will
life.
run. Auntie B, I'm going to run. It's not a other affair. I'm
It's red
sorry. I will
flag.
run.
Well done, my darling. Well
Thank
done.
you so much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome,
Thank you
darling.
for your
Take
channel.
care. Call us again.
Sure.
I really love your voice. Thank you, my darling.
Sure.
Thank you. Bye. Wow. 6 children in this day and age. Ha. In America. Kilo day. Okay. Oh, it is well. Adewale, I'm going to take you then. I will come to Jola. Hi, Adewale, my brother. Oh, what happened to your internet? It just flipped. Okay, let me add you again.
Good evening, HP.
Hello,
Can you hear me?
sweetheart. How are you?
I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm good. How's your
Yeah,
project?
I'm almost done. I'm almost done. I'm gonna be
Ah,
finished
okay.
in January.
Well done, well done.
I hope you enjoyed the Christmas party because I saw
Oh,
the
it was
videos.
nice. It was so nice. People are asking me to come to the US and do it now. I'm like, if I come to the US, will you people come out? Will you come out? It was
That's
nice.
the
It
issue.
was it was
That's
so
the issue.
nice. Thank you.
I think I want to talk about this staying together before marriage from a different angle. I live here in the Netherlands and I got to make some Dutch friends and I used to ask them, are your parents married? And they most of them would say no. And I'm like, why? One of them said, his parents just forgot to go to the city hall to register the marriage. They just started living. And then he said that in their own culture, I mean, like modern day Netherlands, like marriage is not seen as as a very serious thing. It's only seen as a religious
Are these
thing.
Europeans, white
They're
Europeans?
Europeans, yes.
Okay,
It's only seen
okay,
as a religious thing. And then
right.
I also got to know that even when I was filing my taxes, I realized that you could actually register someone else as a partner, not necessarily a wife or a husband. So if you start living together, the government actually recognizes you people as a union, as a family. So all the tax benefits and all the things, like you're
Yes,
protected under the law, right?
right,
But in other countries and other cultures, it's not like that, especially in our own culture.
right.
Marriage actually protects you from your spouse if the marriage doesn't go the right way, especially
Mm-hmm,
in the law. It protects the kids, most especially. That is
mm-hmm,
why when people go through divorce, if one partner is more successful than the other, and you can prove that you helped that other partner to attain that success, and that prevented you from getting to where you want to be, you would have to pay the other partner spousal support. And a lot of
right.
people always think, oh, it's always the men paying the women. It's not actually the case, because we've started seeing cases, especially in America, where the successful women are the one paying their ex-husband spousal support. Wendy Williams is one of those cases. There's also
Mm,
this famous American musician, I forgot her name, Kelly Clarkson. She also paid her
mm,
ex-husband spousal support. So,
mm,
for example, in America, so the law protects you in case the marriage, like the law forces that commitment, so to speak. So living together even before you get married is actually it's you're you're hurting yourself basically. Legally, that's what you're doing.
mm,
Because if you have kids and you're not married, there's nothing registered under the law. You
mm.
might get some child support, but it wouldn't be as effective as
Did you
it
hear
would be
what,
if
the lady that called earlier on that was talking about having a child for a Nigerian man? And when she was talking about how some women in America, especially American women, black women in America who are African American, the way they feel about it. Did you listen to her?
I wasn't I came late to the live, so I didn't
Oh,
I
okay,
wasn't
okay.
around.
She had some very interesting point about. She said basically that when a woman is earning more, just like you said about the women that are paying spousal support, that they have to protect themselves.
You have to. They have to.
That's why, you know, they don't want to get married because if
They
they get
have to.
married, it doesn't favor them. And she gave the
It
example of
doesn't.
Wendy Williams.
Yes, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't.
So
That's
what are
that's
we
why
are we
even
to say that because of that now that I don't know. People don't want marriage anymore because of this.
um I don't know, but it's just like by law, especially in America, it's
Mm.
it's it's kind of good to get married before you become successful, because once you're successful, especially in America, you have to start seeing the person you're getting married to as like an opponent, because if the marriage goes south, you have to pay
But
that
what
person a
about
lot
all
of
these
money.
wealthy people that divorce the white people like Bill Gates that got divorced and Elon Musk, we hear he's been married that many times. So what about
Because
those ones? How
those
did they
those those
navigate it?
guys those guys are so rich they can afford to give 1% of their net worth to their wife. you
Mm,
can't compare like Bill Gates to like the a guy making like 200K a year, who has to
mm.
pay close to 30 or 40% of his net worth to his spouse. That's the
So why
thing.
don't you marry somebody richer then? That's a way out of it. If you're a woman, marry somebody richer. No wonder people like my over the farm here, Cynthia. They say no, don't go for struggle love then. This is what we're saying.
Yeah,
It's because you
well,
are
I
looking for all these broke guys like Wendy Williams' husband who
I
brought
ideally
nothing
I like
and now he's
ideally
taking so much. That's
exactly.
struggle love.
Ideally, it would be good to get married to someone richer, but it's not something you can control. That rich person also has to accept the marriage, so it's a very dicey situation. But what some people are doing nowadays is they tell the person who is not as rich as them to sign, what do they call that thing again?
Prenup, the
Prenup.
prenup.
Exactly.
Yes, a lot of people are saying that even the prenup can be contested. That's what they're
Yes, so
saying.
that's why some lawyers will also say you have to keep renewing it, maybe every year or every quarter in a year. So they
If you
do all
are
those
if you are
things.
a successful woman, marry up. Lobaton. you protect yourself.
Exactly.
Marry up,
So
no struggle love. It's struggle love
that's
that's causing all these things.
well, that's why I'm saying like living together before you get married, especially in our communities, you're hurting yourself. Basically, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Legally, financially, emotionally, you're just hurting yourself because
In Nigeria, put Nigeria into the picture, Adewale, and tell me.
In
Mm.
Nigeria, that's it's like you're putting all your eggs in one basket and you're giving to that person. That's what you're doing.
And you
That's
know
what
the
you're
funny
doing.
thing about Nigeria, the laws are there to protect women. In fact,
But
I recently heard that there's even laws in Nigeria constitution for child support. But how
laws
many
in
people they are not infected? People don't
law
bother because even going to court safe, you want
laws
to
in laws in Nigeria are only written in books. They're
yeah,
not implemented when forced anywhere.
exactly.
So
You're right.
that's all I wanted to say, Auntie. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Adewale. God bless you. Adewale for president. We love you. God bless you, my darling. Jola, how are you? Welcome.
Hi, Auntie B. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How is
How is Lagos?
Lagos?
Lagos is
you are
well.
you are one person that calls me from Lagos all the time. When you call,
You
it's like you have very powerful internet. It doesn't shake.
know, funny enough, the last time I spoke to you, when I spoke to you on day before yesterday, I was in Kigali.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was in
Where is
Rwanda.
that? What country is that? Is that Uganda?
Rwanda.
Rwanda. Oh, I
Yeah,
see. I hear it's a
yeah.
beautiful place.
It is so beautiful, Auntie B.
Yeah, I've heard about
Unreal.
it. Rwanda.
Mhm. Very much
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
Um,
Welcome.
Auntie B, I think a lot of people are. I'm not saying that they are lying in terms of some of the answers people are giving, but
Mm.
the practical reality is when people are talking about, it's in a Nicolam.
Cohabitation.
No. Settlement and
Prenup.
prenup and
All those
prenup.
things.
God forgive me, Auntie B, which money they want collect from me?
Money deal. No talk
Yes,
so Jola.
I know. What I mean is that for a lot of people that are using this as an excuse, a lot of middle to lower class Nigerians, that's not the issue.
No, we're talking about in the West, like in America,
Okay,
celebrities like Nia Long and
right. No,
Wendy Williams.
I mean that is fair enough. I don't know what their motivations are, but what I do find is there are a lot of people that are still innately the term that a lot of people use now is male identified, in that the crux of being a relationship is still figuring out what makes the man comfortable. Now, a lot
Mm,
of modern men will figure out how far they can go. And if you love or you like someone, your hope is that you don't have to have certain conversations, that you're headed in a certain direction. So if he says, let's live together for a while, a lot of people will say, oh, okay, I love him. I know he loves me too. I'm sure we're headed down this direction, right? Like, let him see how great I am at managing a home or keeping a home. But when
mm,
people ask, a lot of people are embarrassed to say that I love him and this is what he wants, and I don't mind. They start
right.
coming up with a lot of cock and bull stories. I'm sorry. Like that's what, to me, a lot of this stuff boils down to. That a lot of, they don't mind, right? But it's not in your interest. I'm talking about what is in your actual interest.
Mm-hmm,
What is your personal interest? We're not talking about, this is not even about how do you feel per se. Maybe that's
mm-hmm,
what you said that drove turned some people off. It's honestly like, as a woman, what is in your personal best interest? Not
mm-hmm,
about what, how do you feel or what do you like. Do you understand what I mean? A lot of people will suggest to see how far they can go with things. And the truth is, for a lot of people, when you love somebody and to be, you're ready to go along with what they say to keep them. Your hope is
mm.
that they will eventually see things as you do, or when you're in love, that's when you start hearing it's just a piece of paper. If it's just a piece of paper, then why doesn't he sign it then?
Hope is not always reality, is it?
It's not. But then stuff
Mm-hmm.
is just a piece of paper. If it's just a piece of paper, nothing there now. Yeah, sign them.
Kuku sign am. Sign am if it's just a piece of paper. Sign
Again, it's
am
about
now.
what is in your best interest. In an ideal world, you won't need any of this stuff. But when we're talking about interest, it's like, how do you protect yourself? How do you protect your any family you might have? How do you protect your own personal interests? How do you there's living in the world there's living in a potential world, and then there's living in the real world. Why
Mm,
do you want, if you come from a traditional African background, right, and you and your partner are doing is us against the world, one person is bearing the brunt of society's insult and it's not him. If he's really
mm-hmm.
down for you like that, then why doesn't he just, okay, you both know you don't care about it, but this is going to make your navigation in the world a lot easier. Why won't he
Well,
do that for you?
I struggle to see or even understand any woman in Nigeria saying that they don't care about marriage, because we know what marriage means in Nigeria for women. Like you said, the brunt of the society coming for anybody that is not married, whatever circumstances they have, it's not always to the other gender. It's to women.
I
It's
mean,
women.
there's also the conversation of when people talk about marrying up, you know, there's a conversation to be had about if from the beginning you are definite about how much you don't trust this person, is it worthwhile in any capacity to be with them?
No, it
Is that
depends
the
on where
cost?
you are. Oh. It depends
No,
on
no,
where
no,
you are.
that's exactly what I mean, Auntie B.
Yeah,
So
I
you know
think
for
Jola,
sure,
in the West now, marriage is not all romance and
and I agree, but
it's
Auntie B, this is
business.
what I'm
It's
asking,
purely business. Even if you are
and
hurting in love,
Auntie
they look
B,
at it from a purely transactional angle.
but that's what
When
I'm
it
saying. I
ends,
don't disagree with you. Like this is
yeah,
a
no, no,
purely
no, no, no.
business
I understand.
transaction.
Yeah, yeah.
People who go into formal business agreements don't always trust each other 100%. They use the backing of the law to ensure that if this thing dissolves, this is how we are walking away.
Mm,
That is why I question, like, Auntie B, let's be honest, a lot of people want to be partnered. You want to be with someone, you want
yeah,
to be in love. It is not a bad thing.
yeah.
The question is, to what extent are women bearing the brunt of, like, we keep changing society to figure out how to navigate men's bad behavior as opposed to forcing them to fess up to what is doing the right thing. Okay, he will cheat me, so let's not sign paper. Okay, this is not will make him feel comfortable. It is always women still counting the cost. Always. It falls back on you to maneuver, navigate, bend, find another wuru way, figure it out. Now all of a sudden it's a shameful thing to want to be married. And to be honest about the fact that actually there are a lot of eligible women. There are a lot less eligible men. So even within
That's
that, you
true.
find
That's
yourself
true.
you find yourself still having to make compromises that have you can find excuses, but anti B, the brunt of this thing is that a lot of men are just not coming up to scratch.
Yeah,
Because if you
that's
think
the
about it,
truth.
if on average, like the average guy was, he's you might have more money than him, but for the most part, you can trust his intentions. This would not be a discussion. So at the end of the day, we're still creating, navigating, managing. It's still down to women. Me, I'm always on women's side. My mom is always laughing at me. She calls me
A
a women's right.
feminist, women's advocate. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's just always disappointing that when it boils down to this is something that women are doing to protect themselves, but it's still coming back to bite you.
If
Do
you
you
don't
understand?
protect yourself, nobody's going to protect you.
Yeah. Like, okay, do you know what? I won't sign papers because I've done well for myself and he might hurt me. But then it now boils down to people calling your children the B word, calling you loose, calling you sick. So it's like who gains at the end of the day? You're still navigating the world in a very difficult way. So
And
for
let
me,
me
it's like
tell you something. Yeah, Jola, I hear you loud and clear. Let me tell you something. Even
some
in
of these discussions
America,
are frustrating.
let's move away from Nigeria that is very traditional when it comes to marriage. Even in America in the West, like we are looking at this Nia Long and Doka. He's moved on now to take another job. It is easier. It's always easier for men to move on. She's the one that's going to be picking up the pieces of her life now, even though they were not married. She's the one that's going to have to explain to their child why that is no longer there. She's the one that's going to have to, turn her life all around. And I heard that she moved from where she was living to go and relocate to where, Udoka was living to,
Yeah.
do this there. What do
I
they
don't
call it?
know, Auntie
Blended
B. Me,
family and all that.
I really do believe that people want different things, and that's absolutely fine. My own thing will always be is what you want really like are we that this thing you want to do, this thing you are going into, when the chips are down, does it still favor you? I think women are taught
Exactly.
to think primarily in terms of what favors everybody. If a lot of women were more proactive about, okay, even if I say financially this is not rewarding, what are the benefits for me? I think everybody should honestly be allowed to do what they want to do. If you want to get married, if you want to cohabit, if you want to do neither. What I always want
Nobody's
to do
stopping anybody. We can't stop people from whatever they
for
want to
sure,
do.
but I always want the question to be like for women, always like prioritize yourself, not this love or this relationship. How does this actually benefit me? You can ask the guy that, okay, I hear what you're saying, but tell me straight up, be real with me. How does this benefit me? This cohabitation that we want to do, this method of living together, how do you think this is good for me?
Will you do
And
it? Let me ask you, Jola.
what them start stuttering. a me or more pastor. Even if I wanted to do it, they go drag me to book.
I need to ask you if you can do only Amioma, because somebody made a
No, but then no,
comment
no,
just
no,
now and said that it's very rampant in Nigeria now with a
no,
lot
it
of
is,
young
it is.
ladies cohabiting.
It is, but Auntie B, let me be honest with you. On the romantic in me can see it, but the part of me that sees marriage not as a, I won't say it's a hassle, but I crave my independence. I really enjoy being alone. To me, the entire point of marriage is melding your life together. If I don't have to, I don't see why I should.
How,
That's
what
it.
would your mom say to that? You sound
No, no, no,
like you don't sound
no. That
like
one, she has gone to Ori. Okay, she's on my matter.
she
Forget
will
about her.
go to Orioke for that thing that you just said now, Pay.
Forget about her. No, no,
Marriage
no,
is
Auntie B, I
about
don't think you
mending life
understand me.
together. You don't see the
No,
point.
I
If you
think
don't see the
no.
point,
What I'm saying is that if I'm getting married, then let me do it properly. That to me is the only reason why I should meld my life with somebody, because I want to get married. I want to take that risk. If I don't,
hmm,
let me be in my house. You can be in your house.
hmm,
If you want to see me, you come and look for me. If you don't want to see me again, you don't look for me. But if you really, if it's that deep to you, if the love is sweetening you so much that you just want us to be together, and then just like let's do it in a way that means everybody, my family, your family, society in general, like everybody is cool. It makes, again, as the woman, it genuinely like makes my life easier. If you want to see me all the time, you want to live together, you want to grow together, then let's get married. If for you it's not that big, then
Obata,
no problem
it's
now. You know where
simple.
my address is. Come and look for me. As
It's
it tire you,
simple.
you go leave me. That's just how I feel. Like I don't see why I should take on the other extra risk of living with somebody if, quite frankly, like you just don't see how it makes sense, because the heartbreak will still be the same if it ends.
Lobanta.
The separate your lives. Oh, who bought this pillow? Is it me? Is it you? Oh, is it me? I don't see how it's is worth my while. I'm also like a very independent person, so I just don't grab, quite frankly, like as a Nigerian woman living in Nigeria, I don't see how that benefits me. That's what I'm trying
It
to say.
doesn't. It doesn't,
If
my
I could
darling.
see the
Mm,
benefits, I would
yeah.
understand. But honestly,
Yeah.
I just don't get it, because I
No,
know
there's no
how
benefit. For a
how
Nigerian woman in Nigeria, there's no benefit of cohabiting.
yeah,
No.
so that's why I said that everybody is allowed to do what they really want to do. You can't force
Mm,
people, but I just want more women to be on. Like you can tell other people lies, but when you're talking to yourself, what benefits you as an individual, emotionally, financially? What do you actually want? What is
mm,
what is it that will make you feel more fulfilled and more happy? And if the person you're with, you what you're afraid of is that if I make it plain and this is what I want, he's going to go, is it worth living in a situation that you're actually not fully comfortable with? You're just hoping eventually the person will be on the same page as you by some measure of benevolence on his part. I don't think it's a worthy gamble, because if there's one thing men know how to do is disgrace you.
mm. Thank you so much, Chola. Oh my God, I can imagine why your mom will go to Ryuki. Your
Ah,
views
no.
are not the normal views of a Nigerian girl, young Nigerian girl that is supposed to be looking for a husband. Eh? You are too assertive.
She'll be okay, please.
Oh my gosh, you'll be okay. And guess what?
All right,
There are men who are looking for exactly women like you, even in Nigeria. You'll be shocked. Thank you so much, my darling.
have a
Always,
lovely day,
always.
Auntie B.
Thank you,
Love
darling.
you.
I love you too, baby. Thank you. Always, always enjoy having a conversation with you, Jola. She's so intelligent. Oh my God. She said, you need to be looking out for yourself, women. Look out for men. See, men. I love men. You know why I love men? Men, they know exactly what they want and they are not afraid. It's only women that are always pretentious. Women will not. It's a bit how to, some of us, our gender, we go school of pretend. You know how to pretend. I think Bumi was saying something just now. I saw it in the comment section that some of them will suggest, okay, it's just said it, that sometimes women suggest cohabitation because they feel the man will put a ring on it. Sounds like Nigerian women. Nigerian women are marriage. Hey, now 5 and 6, oh, they know they play with them. It is well. At the end of the day, you have to do what you think works for you. But cohabiting, my own personal view is that no, no, it doesn't favor you as a woman. It never does. And I'm talking as a woman who is an African woman and as a Christian. All right. But in the West, it's a different ball game entirely. Tammy, I know you understand it because you're an African American woman married to a Nigerian man, so you know what I mean.
I do understand what you mean, but how are you doing? And by the
I'm
way,
all right.
you're looking good. I'm telling
Thank
you.
you.
I
Thank you,
saw you.
sweetie.
You're looking really good. Number one, I want to answer. You asked the question when the other lady was calling in from America, um, about African American women having kids because of support from the government. Remember you asked that?
No, somebody, it's not me. Somebody made that comment in the comment
Okay.
section and I
Well,
asked her, then she went
yeah.
off.
Well,
Hmm.
first, that's not true because we just 13% of society of America. But number two, I was just asking my husband who's looking at the World Cup, and I was like, we cohabitated, and you wanted to get married. I never wanted to get married. He wanted to get married. And till this day, every day I wake up and say, okay, I'm committed to him every day. I think it's a choice. I think people have to remember being married is a choice. And you have to wake up every day and say, I'm committed to this person. Because me and him, we cohabitated. We did.
Hmm.
And he kept asking, you don't want to get married? Nope, I don't want to get married.
Hmm.
And he's right here. You never met my husband, but he's right here. He never, I never wanted to get married at all.
Why didn't you want to get married at all?
I didn't think it was important. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I
Right.
never I it was just a piece of paper to me, seriously.
Why? Why do
And
you think it's just a piece of paper?
because
Is
I
it
believe
from
that
experience or from what you've
no,
seen or
what I've
from?
seen, what I've
Mhm.
seen. Now, what you said earlier, about it's easier for a man to move on. That's a married man too. And my grandmother told me that a long time ago. A man can pick up and move on anytime. That's why you have to be prepared. That's why you always have to have a little kitty. And that's what we
Mhm.
always called our little secret bank accounts,
Yeah.
kitties, you
Yeah.
know. But I just I don't know. I've always felt that way. I'm married now. We've been married for a long time, but
Yeah.
still, it's still a piece of paper.
Yeah.
I don't
So
even know when.
le-
Go ahead.
let me just interject, Tammy. I know I feel you, I get you, I see where you're coming from.
Hmm.
But I want you to understand that you are speaking as an African American woman
Yeah,
born
yeah.
and brought up in the US. So your reality is different from the
It's
reality of,
different.
say,
You're
a
right.
woman
You're right.
like Jola who just called me a while ago. She is a Nigerian. What marriage means to people in Nigeria is different from what marriage means to people who are Americans, for instance. You
Yeah,
see?
I
You get,
understand.
yeah.
I
So
understand.
so for you, the average Nigerian girl grows up aspiring to be a wife.
Okay.
Okay, you didn't see the value in it because because of what your grandmother, your mother, your orientation and all that, and that's okay.
Yeah,
But in Nigeria, it's completely different. Women
I
are not
understand.
respected in Nigeria when they are not married. Women are shamed at a certain age for not being married. Do you know
I
what that
know.
means?
No, I know because I mean he has sisters, and I understand. No, I understand
They
completely.
will literally, when I say they are ashamed, it's not a joke.
No,
Honestly,
no, no. I agree. I agree, and it's sad, and it shouldn't be. And I voiced that even to him and to when we go to parties, and I'm like, this is wrong. Everybody don't want to get married. Let her take her time. Let her find the right one. Um, Marriage will come if she wants it. So of course, I'm the odd man out. I don't believe that a woman should be rushed into getting married. Um, I believe that she should figure out what she wants, become stable, see the world, have her own bank account, and and know who she is before she gets married. You know, and yeah, I agree with you about
sorry.
Nigeria. It's wrong, but
Yeah, it is.
it's very wrong. And over here, look at Halle Berry, look at Beyonce. They all got cheated on. Halle Berry had to pay a whole bunch of uh child child support too, and alimony. I mean, women have to protect themselves, but um am I sad that I'm married? No, I'm very happy. I'm very happy that I'm married
Sorry,
right
sorry,
now.
Tammy.
Yeah,
Let me just address this.
go
Matthew,
ahead.
Matthew, Matthew, please stop. would
What?
would you stop with Jola? Jola is my spec. Jola is my spec. No, she's not your spec.
Uh-huh.
Okay? She's not. That's because I know Jola and I know you. So leave this one. I beg.
Oh, he's
Brother Matthew, leave this one. No. I don't think you are spec for each other. So leave that one. Okay? Carry on, my brother, my sister. He's trying to get on with
trying to
Jola.
get
He's
a
been,
hookup.
yeah, he's trying to, don't know what he's been
He's
trying to
trying to
do.
get a hookup.
I
He's trying to
know,
get
he's
a
trying to
hookup.
hook on with Jola. Jola
Uh-huh.
is not your spec. No, she's not. Forget it.
Leave her alone.
Forget about it. Go ahead, my darling. Tell me.
Um, but I agree with some of the things that everyone is saying, and I disagree also with some of the things that everyone is saying, because you can be married. This man right here can walk out the door any day. We've been married for a long time, but he can say, you know what?
But he
I don't
hasn't,
want to be
though.
married
He
anymore.
hasn't all
No,
these
no,
years.
he hasn't. And guess what? I haven't either. And
Don't you feel, let me ask you this, Tammy. Did you not feel a
okay,
little bit more secured after he married you from when you were living together,
I
cohabiting together?
you want me to be honest with you?
Yes.
Do I feel more secure that you married me after we were living together? I'm really asking him because I I think I'm
I'm
just
asking
different.
you, did you not feel a little bit more secured as a woman in marriage than outside marriage and just having a bunch of babies?
Well, you know what? When he asked, I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm trying to see what I had my own. I don't know. That's just to be honest.
So it didn't matter to you whether you were married or not, as long as you
Let
were
me,
together, you were okay.
he's right here with me. Let me tell you something. I don't even know when my anniversary is. He has to tell me. And I'm just not that type of girl that is remember dates and stuff like that. I'm not,
That's all right. That's all right.
but am I secure? Do I feel secure? I'm glad that he's here. I'm happy
Mhm.
that he's here. I'm happy that we're in love. I'm
Mhm.
happy that I get to wake up next to him every day.
Mhm.
So maybe that is secure. That is
Mhm.
feeling secure. Um, I'm happy that he loves me.
Mhm.
I'm happy that I feel like I know that he's not going anywhere. So I don't know if that's security, if it feels like it's security, but yeah, I'm happy about that. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm happy about that. So I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie about that. But
Mm.
um,
So it wouldn't have mattered to you. What I'm getting to is,
okay,
as a woman, you were living with this man, you weren't married initially.
uh-huh.
So it would not have mattered to you whether you are married or not, even though you have kids. Would it not have mattered that he respected you enough to give you a ring to call you his wife? Would it not matter to you?
Would it not matter? Oh, would it not?
Whether you were married or not, even though you were living together and you have kids.
And to be, would it matter? You mean back then or
No.
now?
No, if you were still living with him today, and this my wonderful Nigerian brother, who will I actually, I'm so fond of him. I haven't met him or spoken to him. But the way you've spoken to him about this, I mean, several times you've called me, I feel like he's a good man. You
Oh,
told
he's
us
a
he's a
good
good
man.
man.
He's a great
Yeah.
man.
So what I'm asking you is that if you were with him all these years and you have these kids with him and he didn't marry you, would it not matter to you whether you were married or not?
And you
If
know
you were
what?
just his baby mama?
If he didn't ask, it probably would matter. Yeah, that's
Thank
just the
you.
truth. Yeah,
Thank you.
if he
Thank you for
didn't
that.
ask. So yes,
Yeah.
that's the truth. Yeah, it
Thank you.
probably would bother me because it would
Yeah.
be like, am I not good enough for you to even ask
Exactly.
or
This is what I was
consider?
getting to.
Yeah,
This is why I talk about the issue of respect, Sammy. I know
yeah,
that you are an American, right? So
yeah.
for me, we were talking a little bit earlier on about what marriage means to a Nigerian woman in Nigeria and what marriage means to a woman like you who is an American. But still, that respect, every woman wants to be respected.
I got
So
that.
I'm glad that you got there in the end. You see
Yeah,
now
I
that
got that
living
point.
with him all these years and having babies with him
Yeah,
and him not marrying you, how you would feel is disrespect to you. Even though maybe your family is not like I said earlier on, that my father would turn in his grave if I was living with a man that didn't marry me. Maybe it's not like that in culturally for you, but still as a woman,
Yeah,
I'm glad that you got there, that
I
oh, he
got that.
respected me enough to
Yeah,
marry
to
me.
ask, to even ask. I got that
Yeah,
part. Yes.
yeah,
And yeah, that would have bothered me if he didn't.
yeah.
So you're right about that. You're right about
Right.
that. Okay. Well, you can
Okay.
change my mind on something.
I'm glad I did. I'm
See him
glad I
come
did.
over
But you
here
know what's most
talking
important
to
to me, Tammy? I'm
you.
so glad that he treats you well. That's what's
He treats me
important to
very well.
me.
And if you came to America or Texas, I will come see you, by
I
the way.
am coming next year, by the way. I'm going
All
to come to
right.
America next year by His grace.
Okay. Well, then I will come
Yes.
see you. It will be
All
good.
right, then. All right,
Okay.
sis. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you
Merry
so
Christmas.
much. Merry Christmas, darling. It's always a pleasure to hear from you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Give my love to our brother, okay? He's my
I
brother. Give
will.
my love to him. All
I
right?
will.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. All right. That's Tammy. She calls us from time to time in the building. She's always bringing it 100%. Lovely talking to you. Ify, you are next, and I'll come to Sweet Pea. Okay.
Hey, Auntie B.
Hi, Dr. Ify. It's been a while. You forgot me. What did I
Oh
do?
no, I never did. I always commented on your videos. I know that I've been busy lately, but I would watch your videos on playback and I will comment, from time to time. And it's a weekend today, and I thought, oh my gosh, I got a notification on my phone, and I said, whoa,
I've
is this
missed
the
you. I've
I've
missed you.
missed
I'm
you.
not going to lie. It's been
I've
too
missed you.
long.
I've missed you too,
Because
Auntie
of
B.
you, Ify, I
Tell
have to
me.
say this. Because of you now, something is going on. No, there is
Mm-hmm.
something going on now because all these assertive doctors I have in the house. Somebody
Mm-hmm.
wants a doctor wife. That's another matter we are going to have to judge. Somebody wants a wife in the US. I'm not doing matchmaking, but this brother said, I want a medical doctor wife. It's because of you. People like you, Ify, all these doctors say,
I'm just
I said, it's very interesting. I said to him, I said, you want a
Mhm.
wife, Abi, you want a doctor? He said, no, I want a medical doctor. Yeah. I said,
This
are you
was
looking
just
for a doctor or you are looking for what? He said, his dream is to marry a medical doctor. I said,
Mhm.
okay, oh.
Interesting.
It's a long thing. This story I'm telling you now, Ify, is a long. We'll talk
Wow.
about it another time.
Oh
But it's a
yes.
long story, honestly. Hmm.
I've missed you, Auntie B, and it's just, I mean, I'm happy to be, on the show. I mean, I joined pretty late, and this story has been flying around America. In fact, I don't know if you watch Fox Soul. It's a TV station here in America where they talk about these celebrities, and they were talking about
No.
Emil Duka and
No, I don't
uh,
watch TV at all. Not even UK,
well,
not even British TV. Talk of American one. No.
American one, yeah, they're on YouTube though. Yeah, they're on YouTube. Mostly they're on YouTube. I don't get them on cable or anything like that, but they're always on YouTube. And you have Frankie Dineva, you have this Jordan girl, and also Al Reynolds. These three people were talking about Nia Long, just a few hours ago. And one of the things they said, even Americans are saying, well, who sent you? You never got married to him. Like, I mean, what were you expecting? I think I wanted to be specific with the commitment thing because I saw a couple of people on the comment section. There's this victoriously Vicky has been
Yeah.
saying marriage is a legacy. People must get married. Marriage is good. This one, I think some of the people in the comment section are not getting the crux of this video. I think I
Hmm.
understand what's going on here, where they're saying, well, no commitment. In this particular case, where we have Nia Long and Emil Doka, from what I heard, is that Nia Long didn't want any commitment. Nia Long was fine with just cohabiting with, Emil Doka. I would
But
say to
why
you,
did she accept the engagement to be a fiance then?
oh no, it was supposed to just end like that. They were not supposed to go beyond that. They've been dating or they've been cohabiting for 13 or how many years? Over a decade now. These two
Yeah,
people.
13 years. They were together for 13
13.
years.
Yes. So Nia Long didn't want it. And, Emil Doka being, of course, he was born and raised in America. He has Nigerian parents. And I'm sure at some point, maybe they must have called him and said, hey, what's going on here? And he must have said something like, oh, I don't know. She wants it that way. I'm going to do what she wants. So according to people, it was Nia Long's idea to remain unmarried, but they're supposed to be cohabiting and raising a son together. And one of the statements she made recently was that, oh, before they put out the news, nobody even called her to say, oh, your husband did something like this, and we're about to leak it to the press. And, this panel of Americans were like, I mean, what were you expecting? You were like a glorified side chick. That's what you are. You were never married to him. You guys were never married. So they don't owe you anything. They don't owe you any, oh, sorry about what happened and all of that. Despite the fact that you must have attended a couple of Christmas parties with these people, they still do not see you as a wife. So I think the non-commitment was coming from the side of the wife. But if we look at it culturally, I know that an American lady just called you some few minutes ago. Culturally, Nigerians frown against this, but it is also becoming a norm in our society in Nigeria because of so many other factors that are responsible for the family dynamics, if you're from my side of the country, it is about them requesting that you pay a certain amount of money. A lot of factors goes into it, and some people are thinking that marriage is going out of fashion, which I don't agree with. In
Right.
fact, Auntie B, I'm a very traditional person. I will, if I were a parent, even as I'm young like this, I still will frown against cohabiting. I
Because you are
still,
who you are.
I
You are
am
who
who
you
I am.
are.
Exactly. I do not, from my perspective, I don't think that it is an ideal thing to do. There is an institution called marriage. If you want to do what married people do, then do it the right way. Do it the right way. And then, I'm not a proponent of cohabiting. So, but
Right.
culturally, for Americans, they don't see anything wrong about it. If Nia Long still had parents alive, they would probably just say, oh, is that what you want? But African parents will speak against something like this. I mean, these
Yeah.
two, they have what, a 10-year-old son together who took the father's color and the mother's color. I think Nia Long is a little bit toned skin. But the truth is, Auntie B, I want to crack you up right now. I think what pissed me off about this whole drama of Ime Udoka and Nia Long is the fact that Ime has given Americans a license to murder his name. I'm sorry to use that word M. They call him Ime Udoke. Ime Udoko.
It's really
Ime
Iduki.
Udoki. I mean, I'm like, I mean,
Isn't it interesting? Both his first and second name are both Nigerian
they're
names. I
both
hear it's from,
serious Nigerian names, serious Igbo
yeah,
name. Yeah.
yeah.
And
Is it Igbo? Somebody was saying it's from Akwa Ibom, something like that.
I think the parent Udoka is an Igbo name, so the father is definitely Igbo, but Ime is actually a Calabar name. So I'm thinking maybe one of the parents,
Yeah.
probably the
Yeah,
mom.
someone was saying
From,
that he's from Akwa Ibom.
yes, Udoka
That's
is
what
never.
Nelly is saying, that he's from Akwa Ibom. Maybe the father is from Akwa Ibom.
Yeah, maybe the father, but Udoka. Sorry, is Ime
Udoka.
the last name or Udoka is the
No,
last name?
Udoka is the surname.
Oh,
Ime is
how?
the first name.
But yeah, but Udoka is an Igbo name. It means
But there are Igbo people what
in
they call
Calabar.
it
In
in
Calabar.
in
Cross River.
Akwa Ibom. No,
Akwa
Akwa
Ibom.
Ibom.
Oh, I didn't even know that, Auntie B.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, just like you have Igbo people in Rivers now. You know that.
mm-hmm. Oh, yes, I know. In Rivers, yes. Oh,
Yes,
that's
in
so,
Rivers
so
State you have like it's just like Ebele now. Ebele Jonathan.
Obele is from Niger Delta. Yeah,
His
that's
Niger Delta
true.
is from Bayelsa, but he's an
Yes.
Igbo man.
That is so true, Auntie
His
B.
language is Igbo. So you know the way they cut all those states. You have Igbo, or you have different cultures in different states. So it doesn't mean
Mhm.
that because your name is this, you're from this.
That is so true. So it could be
Mm.
from the Niger Delta, as a matter of fact. Wow,
Yes.
yeah, it just so happened that some people are even speculating that this Nia Long, knows the kind of man that she has been with for so many years. That she managed to close her eyes for so long, and she was aware of the kind of lifestyle that he had. But it was when everything was brought to the open, and you know how the fan base kind of influenced the decisions that these celebrities
You
make,
think
right?
she knew? Are they saying that she knew that he
Oh,
was
they said,
cheating?
well, the guy is a good-looking guy, but it's not just only with this woman they caught him with. He has been around, and they said,
Bobatan.
according to what I heard, Nia is fine with it as long as you don't embarrass me. It's like the
So it's an
typical.
open relationship then.
Well, it wasn't really supposed to be open relationship, but you know how these women love these guys, and they're like,
They
okay,
said the mother was white. That's why a lot of people are saying that his mother is from Illinois. Is it
oh,
Illinois?
in
You could call
Illinois
it
from Chicago. Oh, I
Illinois.
see. Illinois
Illinois.
from Illinois from Chicago. So so Ime
Is
is mixed
is
race.
mixed? Yeah, it's mixed race. Yes, you can see his
Ah,
skin tone is very light.
But you know, we have some Igbo people whose skins are like this now. You know, Auntie B, like who have very light shade of skin like this.
Yeah, yeah,
The
it's
brother's
yeah.
gene must be very strong.
Yeah, like that. What's that guy that just married Peggy? That guy is so light. He's almost like an albino.
Mhm.
What's his name? Fernandez, or what's that his surname? The one that just married Peggy, Peggy Vori.
These people that had their,
Frederick,
yeah,
Frederick. Yeah,
they
he's
had
very
their,
light skinned. Yeah, in some
yeah,
Igbo people can be so light.
yeah, they can
They
be.
can be very light skinned. Like you. If
Yeah.
you look at you now,
I am light skinned,
you
yeah.
are very light skinned.
But my
Yeah,
mom is very dark skinned, but my dad is very light. And me,
I
my sister,
see.
yeah, my elder sister, and one of my brothers were very light skinned. And then we have people who were very dark skinned in my family. So it's
Yeah,
like a blend. People took after my mom, and some people took after my dad. But
yeah.
yeah, and to be, if we were to divide this structurally, culturally, people would have different perspective to cohabiting without having some kind of commitment. But this was what Nia wanted.
I
Nia,
see.
yeah, Nia just didn't want any entanglement that had to do with,
Maybe
paper.
it's because she didn't want her money to be tampered with. But a
That
lot of
was
people in the comment section were saying that
uh
even Udoka was earning nearly as much as she was. I don't know
oh,
what his net worth is. But man
mm,
of prestige, Ify, I
yeah,
want you to address this.
yeah,
Because man of prestige, Ola,
mm,
our brother here, you know him very well. He's saying
yeah.
something very important. He said, millennials are creating new standards, but they are too lazy. Hmm?
Going to create a new guideline.
Creating new guidelines. They don't. The new standard don't come with new guidelines.
Now
You're
who
just
guide
creating
help?
the guidelines.
Everyone just
So
do what
everyone is just
they
doing what makes them happy, Abby. So if you are creating new standard, you must have guidelines. Okay, oh, how is it going to work? If we are
no,
not going to marry, we'll be engaged forever. Oh, how does it work? This is
that
what Allah
is
is
so
saying. It
that
makes
is so
sense.
right. Yeah. I think that is so true. I mean, people want
And
to
I mean,
mm,
sorry,
mm.
my darling,
No,
Ify.
take your time,
For
Auntie.
context, these people are not millennials. Nia Long is 52 years. She's senior myself. So they are not millennials. Mm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, culturally in America, and you know what it is, America always sets the pace for all of this Iran. And I know the reason why I
Ah,
use the
they
Iran.
like Uranu for that part of the world, Sha.
The
Una too
Iran
like them.
plenty. And
Okra.
how we like to, I mean, people back home like to copy, the American way of life and all of that. And they're not ready for what comes with it. What's the after effect? I mean, Nia Long is going to probably stay for maybe a few years. I mean, she has a good body, she's pretty and all of that. She'll probably see somebody winking at her, in a DM in the next 2 years, and she's going to end up with somebody, or she's just probably going to stay by herself. But the bottom
Yeah.
line is people tend to shy away from creating ground rules, which is what is important. And this is why I agree with the man of prestige when he said people don't want to make ground rules before getting started with something. Somebody like Nia Long has a life, she has a career, she has all of those things. But you now see all these small girls maybe say they never know what they want to take their life do. See them
They go to
settling
copy them.
copy and paste. That's it. But how about the responsibility that comes with it? I completely
Mm.
agree with you. Some of the panels on this, the panel people on this Fox Soul YouTube video channel, they were saying something about Neil Long was trying to protect her money. This guy, Emil Doka, has only been with the is it the Celtics now or whatever team he's
Yes,
coaching?
that's what it's called. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Celtic.
he's only been there for like I think almost a year plus, or he hasn't been there for too long, right?
So
So
he married up. He definitely, or he was not married. They are not married. Now you see me, I'm used to saying marriage because that is how we do it where I come from. Now
yeah,
marriage, they marry you for where we come from.
that is
Look,
so true.
you
Yeah.
know what I want everybody to take away from this? Brad
Uh-huh.
Patrick, I'm sharing my link because of you, my brother. I can't say no to
Mm.
you.
Mm.
What if I love you,
Yeah, I
I
love you
love you,
too.
but
I love you.
I respect you, and I
Mhm.
love you even more tonight for saying that you are a young woman, you have a PhD, you are accomplished, you live in America, you're doing well for yourself, but you still hold on to your values as a Nigerian, as an Igbo girl.
It's
That you are
important.
not going to just live with a man that does not bother to marry you because you are so woke now, you're an American now because you live in America.
That
That's
is absolutely.
important. We need to
It's
retain
absolute.
who we are. Let's not get lost. If we get lost, what is the hope of our children?
Absolutely. What do we have left? I mean, is it that these Americans, the next thing they will come and tell us now is, bossy, no, so that my fine, see, people will not follow them too and jump into the, and get burnt. And, this is the thing. We have to hold on to our culture as a people. And here, I'm not even bringing in religion into this. It's our culture. Our culture is if you're cohabiting with a man and you're not married, you are an Osho free wife. That is
So
what exactly what it is. You're
Temilade
Osho free.
Temilade is saying that Auntie B and marriage is 5 and 6. No,
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 you
no.
are wrong,
Not
Temilade.
in this
No,
context. No, not in this
no.
context. Yeah, not
Me
in
and
this
marriage
context.
are not 5 and 6,
Yeah.
but I just believe that if you want to do it right.
Do it right. Just do it right.
That's it. If you
Yeah.
choose not to marry, if you choose not to have children or whatever, it's okay. I'll respect that.
Hmm.
But I just believe that I
Hmm.
have a daughter. You come and put my daughter in your house, you're not married, you're cohabiting. Kilo
Ó wá ń
jebeto.
bímọ
No, no, no,
ó wá
no,
ń
no, no,
bímọ
no.
lójoojúmọ́ àǹtí bí ó
My
ń bímọ
husband is a
lójoojúmọ́.
minister. No, I won't allow.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to
Mm.
happen. It's not
Mhm.
about me. It's not that I love marriage so much or anything like that. But I am being true to myself. Just
Absolutely.
like, that caller, Tammy, who is an
Mhm.
African American, she's true to who she is.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
love that.
Yeah.
She
Absolutely.
said, "This is what my grandmother taught me. This is what my mother taught me. This is what I know. This is
Mhm.
my culture. This is what I grew up knowing." So I'm being true to myself. I
Absolutely.
grew up knowing that you grow up, you mature, whatever you want to do with your life, you do with it, then you go to your husband's house. I'm being true to myself. I don't want to say because I live in the UK now, I've forgotten everywhere I come from, my daughter will go and live. Never. It's not going to happen.
And to
No.
be, it's a bandwagon effect. It's the idea of tailoring your way of life to the society that you find yourself in. Just trying to fine tune things. And I always tell people, I give people the example of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who is the head of the WTO. She wears her Ankara everywhere. Me, I dislike Ankara. Well, I don't like Ankara, but this woman keeps wearing it, keeps talking like a Nigerian, even after studying in Harvard and MIT for so long.
I met her once
You
in
met her
Heathrow.
once. I know you mentioned that. And
Yes.
this idea
That
of
woman is the most simplest human being I've ever seen in my
that
life.
everybody.
I wasn't doing YouTube then. I would have taken a picture with her.
Oh, I
She
see.
was we entered the same elevator.
Yeah.
Just like you said, she was wearing her Ankara. That
Yes,
woman is
Ankara
so
stuff.
down to earth. People are saying,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, honorable minister." Do you know what? Ify,
Yeah.
guess what? She didn't have one single person following her. She was by herself.
As well.
You know
Yeah.
how Nigerian tip, and she was a minister at that time in Nigeria. She was the minister of finance at that time. She didn't have one person following her.
And to be, it's all about us living in a society where we preserve the part of our culture that should be preserved. We can adapt to things. I mean, she was a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and it's the norm to go about in all of this convoy and all of that. But the American part that she adopted, that she adopted, tells her, hey, you don't need the convoy. But here she is, still being as African as she could ever be, always
Yes,
wearing, and it's all about picking and choosing, in a very healthy way, what it is that we decide to hold on to as a part of our culture.
yes. It's
So
what is important to you. In culture involves all the time,
it
but there
does.
are some things that we shouldn't throw away. Let's not just
Absolutely.
look at our culture and say, that one is all gone now. Let's
Mhm.
forget about it. Doesn't matter.
No, no,
No,
it's our
there are
culture.
some things that are very just like respect.
Mhm, mhm,
Asian and Amaka, sorry, she's stretching. Let me bring her in. I think she's at work even. Bele.
mhm.
Amaka.
And to be, nice talking to you. Let me let you get to Amaka now, because I'm sure
No,
there are
no, no,
many
no, no.
people.
If you don't go, I've missed you too much. Stay. You're not going anywhere. I just haven't seen you in a long time. Amaka, how are you, darling? Are you okay? Unmute yourself. I can't hear you. Unmute yourself. So, as I was saying, there are some things that we need to retain in our culture. For instance, respect. We come from a culture as Nigerians, as Africans, where children or young people respect elders. Should we throw that away now because they are millennials? In social media age now, everybody does whatever they like now. So my son wants to talk to an elderly person, they'll be calling them by name because they live in the UK.
I
If
catch
I
you.
give you Igbati, you will enter into another generation. Are you okay? No, you
Mhm.
respect. This is our
Absolutely.
culture.
Truly, truly.
In fact, they even dobale gone. They learn how to dobale. My children learn how to dobale.
Mhm,
They will dobale. Uncle,
mhm.
auntie, they know that once somebody is older than you, you give them the respect.
Respect.
Why should we told right away? What is wrong with that?
Yeah.
Because you're a millennial now, so you should be calling. Okay, for instance, someone like Toby, who is 18 years old, want to talk to someone like Uncle Patrick. You will be calling him by name. Are
Ah.
you okay? Are you normal? So no, let's not throw away our values. No, some of our
Mhm.
values, I mean, some of the things that we in, I mean, culture involves, but there are some things that are important that we need to hold on to. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, very, very important. Amaka, unmute yourself. You are muted.
So, can you hear
Well,
me?
yes, my darling. Welcome. How are you?
Okay.
You've been listening to the conversation. I saw you yawning.
Yeah, I know. Well, let me say this before I forget. You say you're coming here. Make sure you get me, okay? Make sure you
Yeah.
holler before
Where
you
are
leave.
you? Where are you, Amaka? Are
I'm
you
in
in
Miami.
Lobaton, all the way Miami? Hmm. Okay.
No,
Where am
that's
I
where
going
you
to
need
go
that's
to?
where you need to be. That's the best place to be in the
America
whole
is so
wide
big.
world.
Where? How many places am I going to go to? I was thinking of Texas and Maryland
No,
and New York.
no. You need the South Beach.
Eh.
Yes, you need the South Beach. It's an experience on its own.
I don't think we have many people in Miami. Or is it only you I will come and see in Miami? Eh? Okay, don't worry. We'll discuss that later. I'll
Well,
put
we
I'll put
we got
out
well
a
we're gonna work it out with Texas. It's not far. Texas is not far from me.
okay, we'll see. But I'm definitely coming to the US next year by His
Yes,
grace. I will. Mhm.
that would be an honor.
Yeah. I love coming to the US. I usually come there to shop because you guys have the most amazing shops in this world,
Oh
I swear.
yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Thank you, my
Well,
darling.
I saw what the story for today. Cohabitation. Cohabitation is not good,
Okay.
and but it depends. So I had different colors. Some of them come from here. So I'm gonna speak for here, and Nigeria is a different situation. Whoever that cohabits in Nigeria know they set up themselves for failure.
Amen.
That's just the truth. Because my father said, if you living with a man, right, and the
Mm-hmm.
man, oh, let me not use the word, the man do all the
Delete.
career work every day,
Yeah.
and then you man too, they cook as a wife. Oh. You they do kitchen chores, you they clean, they swipe everywhere, they do everything everywhere, they shine.
Oh my
What
God.
else are you gonna give this man?
Hmm.
Right.
I
Wow.
mean, let's be honest to ourselves. What
Hmm.
else will you give? You have already played your role as a wife. So when you get married, there is nothing fascinating about the wife again,
Hmm.
because you already give him all you have at the expense of you, because it's always going to be the woman is going to lose. It's not the man. The man is going to rub themselves, take a shower, move to a different location and marry.
Hmm.
And you'll be so shocked after 6 months, 3 months of meeting somebody else, they are married.
Hmm.
But then they love those vulnerable ones that can sit down and take it all by themselves for the stupid reason I don't know. If you cannot marry me, if you cannot put that ring in my finger, what the heck am I doing with you?
I
Hmm.
wonder.
It's just the truth. I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. If I really really love you, okay, then let's be in a distant relationship until you're ready.
You know what the world has really changed though. Uzo is trying to put the categories. I can't keep up with this category. I beg. And Generation Z and Millennial. This. My own uncle. Me that I'm from 1972. Uncle. What do they call us? What do they call us, Uzo? I don't know. I can't keep up with Gen Z and
I,
Millennials. Gen Z. I don't know. Let me tell you
it's
something.
but when you look at the marital roles and what marriage plays in a family, I know marriage is a paper. I say that all the time. Marriage is just a paper, like here in Florida. You sign this paper. Marriage is, oh, two of us is financially bonded to take care of whatever that we have. That's just marriage. Over here, love does not prophesy a marriage. Marriage is a paper here. But then the paper is a magical paper that you cannot do without. It's a paper that holds some part of your life. So
It's
I,
a
I, I
paper.
think I
Jola
think
said
yes,
it's a paper. If it's a paper, then why are some people, especially our brothers, why are they reluctant to sign it if it's just a
I
paper?
know that's what I'm saying. We say that it's a paper. I said it's a paper, but at the actual sense, It is a magical paper that you cannot do without, which means it's a very serious, important paper. That if a guy decided, I love this guy, I love this lady, she is this, she is that, then the best is to settle with her. I don't see why you're gonna love someone and then you live with them anything more than 1 year. That's I mean, you guys just need someone, just have to sign a paper, pay $30, $35 in the courthouse, and they give you the paper because you're already married.
Yeah, I think the reason why the person in the comment section is misunderstanding what she meant is because she was using just. You know how it is in Nigeria where we say just. Nigerians tend to think when you use just for something, it is nothing. But clearly, she's saying it's a magical paper. It's a
Yeah,
powerful paper.
it is a paper right here. If you married here, you know the rules of marriage. That if you break it, you have to pay for it. You gotta pay for it financially, you gotta pay for it. Some people even get arrested. There is the marriage law that you're gonna break in America, you get arrested for it. Because it's the marriage have a law here. You don't just play with it, even if we call it is a paper. So, but sometimes when you look at the culture here of the Westerners here, the Americans, not just Black Americans, white folks, they do the same. When they think of how much they have achieved in their life, when they think of, how independent they love to be, they do not want to get married. I have
Right.
worked with them, they don't want to. Like, it's not even we talking. They will tell you right there, I just don't want to get married.
Right.
Because they feel when they get married, they are not safe. If
They have more
anything
to lose.
happens, and someone told me, honey, I don't want anybody that will tap in my 401k. I don't want anybody that will tap in my retirement benefit. I don't want, because we don't understand until something goes wrong. Then when something goes wrong, they will go, they will tap to your retirement, they will tap your 401k, they will tap to your life savings, your life insurance. Once you have lived with that person after 5 years, whatever you have in your life automatically becomes for both of you. So some people do not want to go through that. They just want to, I love you, we love each other, we live. But to sign that paper that bond two of us and then something happen, they're gonna deal with me financially. I don't want to go through this. So they settle themselves emotionally, they settle themselves socially. But having that union between two of them, they don't do that. It is their way right here. But then some of us, Africans or Nigerians, were emulating those. I really don't blame
Even
anybody
people who
that
don't have anything, if people who don't have anything, self will be copying people who are millionaires. What do you have? You don't
that
have
is true.
anything.
That is true.
You are saying I
There's
don't want
a
to get
caller.
married. I don't. I beg. I beg. I
Yeah,
beg.
there's
I
a
beg.
caller that said something here. She said, what do I have? Like, what do I have to lose? That is the truth. If someone have to look at what they have now and to look, because marriage come with benefits. Marriage come with benefits. So if you look at your benefits and if you look at taking the risk, if you are not too sure, I wouldn't advise someone that is not too sure to go for marriage. If you are not that sure, then sit down and wait for your time. But if you are sure, but because of the society is making us, this marriage doesn't work, it's a lie. There are tons of marriages that are working perfectly.
Exactly. Say
There
that.
are still
We need to
people that
emphasize
have
that.
problem,
Just
but
like
they
Tammy
still
said.
work it out.
Just like Tammy said, she wasn't thinking about marriage, but that's our Nigerian brother. God bless him. He's an Edo
Exactly,
man. He married her
because
and she's been happy. He's been a good man. I think that these
exactly,
stories like Tammy's stories, they are not loud out there. So people think that,
yes,
oh, every marriage is going to end up, you are going to divorce, you're going to
no,
break up, and you don't
no,
nothing.
no, no,
But people are
no.
actually marrying and they are enjoying their marriages.
Exactly. There are some here that I've seen that they have cohabit for a very long time. They marry, they don't even know the difference when they marry and when they are cohabiting because it's their way of life here. So it works for them. They have known each other for eternity and they finally get married. So it's okay for them. But for us that have a culture that come, it's not okay for us because it's not right. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna sit in your house for what? And you say, and then I'm watching the dishes, making your soup, doing this, and you're not gonna marry me. I'm not doing that.
Let me read these
So
comments. Temperamental tats. Some people just jump into the conversation without knowing what we've been discussing and they make their comment. I want to believe that this temperamental tats, your name has given you away because you already call yourself temperamental. They said that I disagree about Americans not wanting marriage. Maybe you are speaking to a very specific group of people within that group. Marriage is still a big institution in America. So what you don't know, temperamental tat, is that an African American woman came earlier on in the show and told us why successful Black American women don't want to get married. They are okay with living with men or being in a relationship without the marriage. So you need to go back and watch it to understand where we are coming from. It's not good to
yeah,
jump into a show
people
and just,
people
yeah,
people think the way we see marriage in Nigeria is the way they see marriage here. It's different thing. They see marriage here is not, they don't see it like it's a big deal. It's what we have to do without. Like if we don't do this, then life will stop existing. They don't see it that way here. They see it just like just like a regular party. They're not like Nigeria. Oh, you have to get married
yeah,
at 20, you have to get married at 25, you have to. No, no, no. They settle down and get married when they choose to because they know this is my
right.
time. I am fulfilled. I have this, I have that. And then they go for marriage. But majority of us in Nigeria, we don't have all it takes before we venture in the so-called marriage. And that's
So
why we
in
have so much
Nigeria,
problem.
no, in Nigeria is a normal progression for everybody. This is what your parents expect. This is what the society expects. You are born,
Yeah,
you go to school or whatever you are doing for your life to get a livelihood.
exactly.
And the next stage is normal. This is the normal progression for every adult in Nigeria. This is what the society, this is what the your family, your father and your mother, your religious organization,
And
this
to
is what
be
they expect.
and another thing I want to point out is that another thing that can be an issue is the time of a woman. Like we said, a woman is a time clock. She have a biological time. There are times that you don't have to waste the reason why cohabitation is bad. Because when you stay there, you're wasting all those time that you're supposed to be resourceful for yourself. You
Biological
wasting with
clock.
someone that you don't know what the heck that person is thinking.
Yeah,
When you're gonna need something like you want a child or you want to start up a family, it's already too late. It's
absolutely.
already too late. Or when you start up a family and then you have kids, and the man definitely not gonna marry you. I mean, how will it? That would be the worst emotional outburst someone can have. You know.
Absolutely.
And to be, one of the things that I wanted to quickly chip in is, there are people who are on this platform. Let's not deny the fact that there are several people with different perspective to marriage and all of that. I personally, you know me, and to be, I've always said it. I do not have any problems with people getting married, but I also have a problem with people pressuring people into marriage. And for those single people on this platform, I hope we're getting the message and not getting it twisted.
Yeah.
The woman who is calling from Miami and Auntie B, they are not saying you must, because I know some people are probably going to twist Auntie B's word when she said that's the normal path. You finish school and marriage is expected. That's what people expect. But if you haven't
Yeah.
found that right person, you don't have to force yourself into it, because I know somebody made that comment saying Auntie B is 5 and 6 with marriage.
You see, I'm
But
5 and 6 in marriage. I thought I was anti-marriage.
no, you're not anti-marriage, Auntie B. It's just that the
It's
direction that
it's
the
so funny
discussion
how
is.
different people see me. A lot of men say I'm anti-marriage, like I'm
Mm.
teaching women to leave their marriages, and somebody say I'm 5 and 6 with marriage. Really?
But there
I
has to
didn't
be a
know that.
balance, Auntie B. There has to be a balance, and that's what happens on this show more than half of the time. So when things go wrong in marriage, you talk about it. When things go great in marriages, you talk about it, and that's the balance that you've established over time. And I think people should start paying attention to how you're right there in the middle. And when it's time to talk about how important marriage is, you're there. When it's time to talk about looking carefully before you go into it. Now, today's topic is right in the middle as well. Nobody's saying you must be married, but they're saying, based on our culture as a people, it is best for you to make that decision on marrying this person or being with this person, signing a paper instead of having to sit with them from morning till night, doing their dishes, cleaning up after them, and doing all those things. So I hope people are not mixing things up. Auntie B or the caller from Miami isn't saying you must get married. They're saying, well, if you're an African or if you're a Nigerian and you know what our culture says about this thing, what's the point in staying with a man from morning till night and doing his dishes when you can?
Stay ahead of yourself. That's what Jola said. You need to be,
Yeah.
making choices that favor you.
It has to be, you have to put yourself first. And this is
Put
not
yourself
about being
first.
selfish.
What are
Yeah.
you gaining from this? If you come out of this, are you going to be well off?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm all for empowerment and, women, men, everybody, because, it seems like, somebody said you are more on the women's side. Yes, I am. I will always be on the women's
But
side.
that's
I'm
a
not
given,
ashamed of
Auntie
that.
B. That's a
I'm a
given.
woman.
Yeah,
I will
that's
always
a
support
given. You're a
women.
woman.
I love my gender and there's a reason. People don't
Mhm.
understand it, but there's a reason.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
because of where we come from. You know that if women are at a disadvantage culturally, traditionally, in religion, every aspect, is the women that get the brunt of everything that happens in society in terms of relationship and marriage. If you are not married, it's your fault. Why are you not married? You are 30 something. You are not married. If your marriage fails, you didn't keep your marriage together. It's your fault that your
Yeah.
marriage didn't work.
Well,
If your husband even leaves you for another woman, it's your fault. You couldn't keep your home. Women are the ones that suffer the most. We do
I agree.
suffer. Men have a pass. The society gives men in Africa a pass, even for bad behavior. I mean, I saw a comedy show today, and the comedian was saying something about how if you are in a marriage and the man decide to look somewhere, it's not because they don't like you. They find ways to justify
The
nonsense.
nonsense that they do. I mean, yesterday I saw this on social media because I mean I'm on Twitter a lot of times now because of the Nigerian politics. After visiting home in the past, I mean I visited Nigeria in May, and what I saw has inspired me to want to get involved in politics, even if it's by creating awareness. But I saw one of those posts where one of the pastor was like, if you're a woman and your husband is cheating, just pray that God should give the side chick a husband so that she will leave your husband alone.
Oh yes, that's normal.
And I
Yeah.
was like, what? What did this guy just say? Like, you're
Yes.
supposed to then look away and start praying, go and
Yes.
bother God. God has
Yes.
so many problems he's dealing with, many prayer points he has to answer. And you have to
Yes.
bother God with a prayer point that says, God, please give the side chick of my husband a husband.
Oh
What,
yes.
what kind of prayer points would, I mean,
Yes,
so
everything is on you. If your husband cheats, it's
it's
your
on the
fault.
woman.
You
It's
are
on the
not praying.
woman.
You are not praying enough.
Yeah,
Anything that
absolutely.
happens is the woman. That's
Yeah.
why you guys need to understand where I'm coming from. I'm
Mhm.
talking on behalf of the average Nigerian woman. I know what women go through in Nigeria. It's not a joke.
It's not. It's not.
It's
It's not.
not.
It's
It's
not.
not. The society has even conditioned some of us that even our own gender, I don't know if you've noticed,
Mm-hmm.
our own gender, women go are the ones that they are standing tall now when it comes to patriarchy, and the ones that are holding the stick to say, how dare you? Because you want to leave your marriage because your husband cheated.
Especially in that
You know,
Nigeria.
Joe, really?
Mm-hmm.
What is the big deal? I beg, stay, Jerry, and fall into line.
I mean, and we've seen the outcome of that. I mean, of things like this, of this kind of advice, where they
It-
give
It's 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 said that in Nigeria, women are the one that gets all of those, all of those things. It's very sad, and
yeah.
that's why I don't care how people say it. I will still be advocating for what I think is right.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be at the expense of any woman that lives your lifestyle, your life, everything about you to go and live under a man that is not gonna marry you. You should not do that. You're wasting your time, your energy, everything that you're supposed to have at that period.
Absolutely. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't
And
make
Let me
then
read
at
this
the
for you.
end of the day, you don't get ring, you don't get paper, you don't get money, you already use. They use you morning, afternoon, night. You cook morning,
You're a
afternoon,
clicker.
night.
You
You
turn to a
watch
clicker.
this. You go to market, you make their family to like you, you do all of that. At the end of the day, they will still leave you.
And in fact, I'm glad that women are speaking, and I'm sure that you'll be surprised, Auntie B, at the number of people who are watching this show right now, who are in this same position where they're doing dishes for men, wiping counters down, cookers, doing all this cleaning and all of that. They will even shine his shoe before he goes to work, and of course, they're going to step out at some point and go and pick a girl. And Auntie B, and I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the caller from Miami. We all know how these men are wired.
Amaka, she's still here.
Oh yeah.
We all know how these men are wired. They see something too much, they tend to gravitate towards what doesn't give a damn about them, right? Or who
Of
doesn't
course.
give a damn about them. When you give a damn about them too much, man, they will just walk up us. That's their way. I mean, that's how they're wired. It's not like
Oh
it's bad.
yes. Oh yes. Oh yeah. You treat. If you see that wouldn't give you what you want, you treat them as they are not important because they are not important. They're
Absolutely.
not.
You don't have to give them a verbal deadline or a verbal
No.
ultimatum, but your action has to speak. In what sense? I mean, you don't
Exactly.
have to go and cohabit with
If
this
you
guy.
watch, Uncle, is it Uncle Steve? Uncle Steve, the American show, he said one time that his current wife that he's marrying, when he started going out with her, he had other girlfriends. But then Major is her name. She woke
It's
up one day
Marjorie.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
is
Marjorie.
it Marjorie? Yeah, Marjorie, Steve Harvey's wife.
yeah. So she woke up one day and told him, "You know where I live. You know my number. When you're ready, you give me a call." And she walk out.
That's a woman that knows herself. She knows her
Exactly.
self-worth.
She walk out. And that was it.
Nice.
So you're not telling this man, I am valuable. Because if you know you are valuable, what are you doing? It's because they know you're vulnerable, you don't know your worth, you don't know you valued, you waste time talking something that doesn't make sense. And then they take advantage of that. And remember that we are talking about men that are being raised by men or parents that love to belittle the women. So it's like it's in the blood. It's very hard to get rid of, except for the women to recognize their status in life. I am a woman. I have value. I have respect. I have dignity. There are things I cannot take. Once you place yourself in that area, whoever is dealing with you, it's not going to keep you in a house without marrying you. You take your bag and walk away.
Walk away. And you know how Steve treats Marjorie. I mean, we know Steve
He
throws party
literally
for her.
worships her. He
I mean,
literally
he
worships
does.
her.
And
And that's his
he
third
does.
marriage, right? I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, I know.
There's
And
a reason why she's still there.
he's probably,
Don't
I
make
mean,
men work for it. All of them, Mokuna let them come the shop free of charge. It's
they're going
okay.
to be
Ewa,
together
all
forever.
right. Last.
This
Amaka,
Yeah, thank you.
thank you, my darling Amaka. I appreciate
All
you.
right. I
We'll talk
feel
soon, all
free.
right? Bye,
Okay.
darling.
these
Right,
three
Patrick?
these three women are on fire.
Now, they're still
Amaka,
saying the truth.
Amaka, Bridget, Ify, Abby.
Ify.
I gave you name Abby. Oh my God.
Lobato.
Amaka, Bridget, and Ify.
Welcome, Brother Patrick.
Wow. I really appreciate you ladies. You really nail it on the head. It's a no for cohabiting for me. I'm speaking as a father.
Absolutely.
You don't know, something came to my mind. You know there's some product that doesn't need commercial. I mean advertisements.
You don't know there are some cars they don't advertise.
God bless you. You know where I'm going at the beat. It is only when they upgrade that they just say, okay, this is a new
I've
upgrade.
never seen a Porsche advert before.
Yeah.
Posh.
Yes.
Rolls Royce, I've never seen the advert before.
That is true.
So when you give yourself away, you devalue yourself.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni bàbá mi, á dá fún yín. Á dá fún yín.
Like Amaka said, as a way men are wired. And as a parent, I can't imagine my daughter having paid for college and all those things. And you just say you are packing to. I'm not going to be happy with you. I am not.
Thank you.
I am not. No parent will be happy. we've gone to wedding by white Americans married to Nigeria. They will still do the traditional wedding. My
They
my
will do it, oh. They
yeah,
will do it.
my
Correct.
my,
Because
my
this is what you
nephew.
demand.
My nephew, that's part of the father is married to a white American, a lady. The father of the girl was there. They still wear show and everything. The boy
They
is
Nice.
even love
the
it. When you sew it for them, you will see them. You see all those Oyibo, they will be
You
jumping
just
up and down.
glow up. You see them glowing and just jumping all over the place.
yes, the
I used
Oyibo
to
will be
laugh when I
double.
see them, the way they will be dancing. Oh,
You saw the
Oruwama, who?
you saw the Oyibo double. You know what I'm saying? After going to school, your parents spend money on you. You just go and devalue yourself. And
No.
by the time the guy say, "I'm done with you," it's going to affect you emotionally. That's the way women are wired. Your body is going to affect you mentally as well.
A ti lò ẹ́, ó máa lò ẹ́
Yes.
gbogbo nǹkan tó dùn lára ẹ ló máa ti gbà
Ti
for
bí
free.
ìyẹn náà pè ní struggle love tí ò ní part
Ọlọ́run ò
2.
ní jẹ́.
Struggle love.
Yes, I'm really very grateful for you guys. We should preach it to our children. They don't know better. Auntie B,
No.
these kids
Our
don't know
Brother
better.
Patrick, let me tell you something. Our daughter Esther, she made a first class in law.
Yes.
Eh?
Beautiful.
She is super intelligent. She became a solicitor. Very, in fact, so me, I will come and tell her father now, she's now found one boy that he said they should come and do trial marriage and be living together. I know she knows. It's not even, it's not even no. She knows that already.
So we should be
Any man you are
smart.
dating, bring him to come and meet your father. This is
Yeah,
our culture.
that's
Britico or no Britico,
we should
I don't send
bring
anybody.
Auntie B. One of my immediate brother, the daughter, she just plus 25 yesterday. Harvard gave her scholarship. She didn't accept it. They gave her 75%. Until Stanford gave her 100%. When she was there, she was the engineering president, student president.
Beautiful.
She's working with Apple now. She's making big money, enjoying her life.
Yeah.
Will she go and stay in one person's place, one guy place?
So when you don't value yourself, that's what happens. If you
The
are a
That is
Nigerian
so
children
or
God has
an
given to us,
African,
the Bible said the children God has given to us, they are for signs and wonder.
wonders. Really.
Yes, when our children are prosperous, we should preach it to them, talk to them.
Yes.
That's the role of the parent. And
And Auntie B, Brother Patrick, there's somebody on the comment section who's saying, look at Portia's wedding. There's this celebrity they call Portia. Portia
Yes.
is not moving with this Nigerian guy from Benin City. I can't remember his name. What's that his name?
I wanted to do a show about that. I saw it because Esther kept sending to me, say, look at it, look at it. I say, why are you so interested?
Wedding.
The way she
Small
embraced
wedding.
the culture, the Edo culture. They even
Absolutely.
gave her a name, Esosa. They gave her a Benin name.
And she didn't move in with the guy. She didn't go to cohabit or cohabitate or whatever they call it. Yeah.
Why was she moving? Why was she moving?
Why? Yeah. For what?
The parents are there. We gave you everything. Gave you money. Pay for your school fee. You have a car. You have a house. Why should you just go and throw yourself?
They took her to Benin, did traditional marriage. See Portia wearing all the Edo gear. Like
I
she's
saw that. I saw that.
They did traditional marriage. They did everything.
Yes.
And that's why Auntie B is there. Auntie B, let anybody write whatever, we'll stand on our ground. That's what we want for our children.
Like if he said, Brother Patrick, you are free to believe whatever you want to believe or do whatever you like. Whatever makes you sleep at night. I'm not against whatever you believe.
Yes.
But I'm speaking from my own angle as a Nigerian woman and as a Christian. And I don't have any child that's going to live with any man that they're not married to.
No, why?
And Auntie B, there's somebody in this, if you can see it in the studio, the person said she moved in with him. We know that Portia was literally engaged to Simon Gobadia before I didn't even hear they didn't even stay for too long. Do you know what we mean by cohabiting? Where they
look at how the extent he went, going to do all this traditional marriage, all the Edo. He even gave her an Edo name, Esosa.
How many weeks now they take stay together before they finally got married? There was something that they were driving at. He was married. They're like, man, I'm sure they must have thought that Kila and Barawashe, like, why are we wasting time? Let's go get married.
Let me tell you something. For those of us that are parents here, right? Brother Patrick, I'm speaking to you now and other people who are parents here already, and you have children who are grown. This is something you need to tell your children. This is who we are as a people. And I'm not speaking for people who this is not their culture. You can do whatever works for you, right? But I'm speaking for myself and other people who believe in this. This is the expectation. This is what we expect of you. You're not going to go and live with a man and then me will come to that house. I don't want it over. If you have a child in that kind of a relationship, you're on your own. Me, I'll
Kò
come
tiẹ̀
and do a good
sọ́mọ
work for somebody
kò
that is not
sọ́mọ tó
married to
jẹ́
you.
dánrẹ́ wò like kò
Yeah,
sọ́mọ
Ah,
kò sọ́mọ tó jẹ́ dánrẹ́ wò.
okay.
Ọmọ tó bá fi kọ́ láti ilẹ̀ like if you're
Ah,
taught
all right.
and
You
you're
are
yeah,
shown.
all right.
Yeah.
Last, you'll be okay.
you are
Baby,
right.
come.
You are their real model. They look at you.
Yeah.
I won't do it.
Right.
I'm not gonna do it.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I won't do it. No, it's not. This is not who we are as a people. No.
Auntie B, I will not be surprised if your daughter makes first class. Nigerian kids are so smart. Yeah, I don't want to talk about my son. Well, I know. You know, but yeah, they are so smart. So we should preach it, let them know.
No, they know that in this part of the world, especially here in America, we know. I don't know if anybody watches Bob Hart Abishola on CBS. You see how Gina Yashere espouses our culture and how, we're always literally looking for what to do as Nigerians. As a matter of fact, we hate, sitting down and being idle. They know about our culture. Our culture is being talked about there, even on CBS here in America. So they know what is alien to us. And we're not going to come here, live here, and say we want to adopt culture a culture that's not who we are. I mean, we can pick the good things that we find in this society, but for most of us, we're not going to sit here and let people change our psyche or our way of thinking and accepting, what is alien to us as a people. If you're staying with a guy, you better get married. What's the point of cohabiting for years? Be with Nia Long, 13 years.
13 years. At the end of the day, she's left to pick up the pieces of fiancé and fiancé relationship.
If you don't love your culture, even African Americans, they go to Africa, they go to Ghana, they go to Nigeria, they enjoy it, they like it.
That's what a couple of people that have called from who are African American, they said it. Even the first caller said she said she was looking for a man. That one was deep. If he me, she said she was looking for a man, a black man who doesn't have any baby mamas. That it's difficult to see a black man without baby mama. I'm like, what?
In America.
She said in America, I say,
yes,
okay, it's different from this part of our world, Sha.
Yeah, that is so
So
true.
most of them have baby mamas. I was like, what?
Absolutely. It's tough. And that's why people who go back home in Nigeria to Nigeria and Ghana, they're always shocked to see single men who don't have kids. Because in this part of the world, and again, I stand to be corrected, but this is one thing I know about the American culture. I've lived in Canada, I've lived in America. Living in America currently, I know that most of these guys here, the black guys, they have a lot of baby mamas and things that they're dealing with. You hardly ever find, except for the very highly educated ones, which sometimes it's still hard to find, someone who's single and without kids.
Wow.
If you have baby, you get weak, get money from government, get food stamp and all this. Why wouldn't they have it? So
yes,
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
They don't care about college.
Yeah, for some of them, yeah, or for a majority of them, yes.
What's happened? England has scored 1-1. Yeah, I said it before. They were leading. Daddy has come. England has scored. And you see the way he's dancing. If you see the way Dandy is dancing, England. You won't give me hypertension. I'm not watching. Please don't come and tell me now. Maybe I locked the room. I closed the door. You still came here to tell me.
I don't even watch football anymore.
You still want to tell me about England scoring? I don't want to watch.
All right.
Oh, thank you so much. Ify, I appreciate you, my darling.
Thank
Patrick,
you.
God bless you, sir.
Have a wonderful day. Bye, Auntie B.
Thank you. Bye, sweetheart. Bye. Okay, we are moving on very quickly. I need to end. They say England has scored. I need to go and find out what's happening. Sweet Pea, you've been waiting for some time. I'm so sorry. Welcome.
Hi, TB. How are you doing today?
I'm all right. Where are you joining us from?
US, Atlanta, Georgia.
Welcome. What do you have to say?
Okay, I'm gonna start from the beginning. I'm Igbo. Okay, we value marriage.
Right.
However, my parents taught me you do not settle. Like, if it's not like, don't expect the marriage to make you happy or to complete you. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
Like, if you're not happy before you go into the marriage, you're not gonna be happy. And most importantly, get your coins together.
Amen.
Financially stable before you move into anybody's house. That's number one. However, when it comes to cohabitation, If a guy wants to marry you, he knows 3 months into the relationship he wants to marry you. Like there is no, I'm trying to learn you better. No. People will only show you the part of them that they want you to know.
Right.
Whatever else you, they will hide it very, very well. So that it's not like I'm going to move in with you, so I will understand. No, no, good stop. It's not gonna happen. But if you insist on doing it, love with your head and not your heart.
Hmm.
For example, if you're going to pay the mortgage or help in paying the mortgage, make sure your name is on the deed
Hmm.
or wasting your time.
Hmm.
Commingle your assets in any way. Do not do it. Because if you do, you're going to lose out.
Hmm.
The next thing is this: when it comes to common law marriage is not recognized in every state in the US. And then, most importantly, shacking up with somebody for 7 years does not make it a common law marriage. The person must have introduced you to people that knows both of you as this is my wife or this is my husband. If it doesn't work that way, thou shalt not be in a common law marriage. It's not recognized by law.
I
It is
like the
not.
way you say thou shall not be. Like it's a
When
commandment. Okay, go ahead.
when it comes to marriage, I know why I said ironclad prenup.
They say
Okay.
there's nothing like that, apparently.
No. If somebody wants it, I'll give you my number. I'll get it for you. It's called ironclad prenup. The lawyer will sit down. The lawyers from both sides will sit down. They will go through every single aspect of your life, every single part of your life, down to, oh, we're going to stay in the house in Miami for Christmas every year. Like that detailed. If you have 2 kids for me and we're married for like 5 years, I will give you 1 million. Like it is very, very detailed.
They say it can be challenged in court, even the
It cannot
ironclad
be,
ones.
you can go to court, you're not gonna win.
Right.
You can go to court, you're not gonna win. I don't know if some of you here know anything about Carnegie. He's one of the people that built America. During the American Civil War, like the South lost the war, and then the South had to pay the North some amount of money for the whole loss and everything that happened. There were some men that was like the cotton barons in the South. They invested their money in steel. I'm talking about people that have trust funds for their great grandkids they never even met. Like you're set for life.
Hmm.
Like these people are so rich, it's so common. Like they don't even, how do I say it? Like it doesn't bother them one way or the other.
Hmm.
One of them, the great granddaughter, was getting married. She was dating a guy in New York, and the guy proposed. She accepted. The next day, his great grandfather's law firm that handled her trust showed up and told the guy, before this marriage can go forward, you have to sign the papers. That's how he even knew the fiancée is a heiress. Like he didn't even know, like she had like stupid money.
Hmm.
You know, like people that have so much money that make Bill Gates look like a charity case. That's what I'm talking about. Like the money has been there from generation to generation.
Hmm.
Okay, you cannot break such prenups or
Right.
trust because it is
Right.
that's what is the word ironclad. It takes
Right.
time to draw it up, but you can go to court all you want to. You cannot break it. Same thing as like
Okay.
if you marry somebody, like if you marry a guy that comes from a wealthy family and he has a trust, no amount of court litigation can make you touch that trust. It will not. It is locked up.
Right.
They were talking about Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson made an amateur mistake. She didn't have an ironclad prenup. Elon Musk, his first wife didn't get a dime from him. Like
That
she
man,
made
I believe, because the
she
way
didn't
since
get a
he took
dime.
Twitter, the way he's been behaving, I know that man. Chai. Hmm. He's
No,
not an
that's
easy
Twitter will
person.
be his downfall. Twitter will be his downfall because his mouth wrote a check his ass cannot cash. That's how they say it in America. That will be his downfall, but that's a different story. But the thing is this: you can have a prenup, like an ironclad prenup. You don't even have to be rich. It can be as simple as you will leave the marriage with whatever you came in with. But it has to,
Hmm.
like, they will address every single line of your, like, both sides of the marriage. Like it will address every single line down to
Hmm.
every single thing will be addressed.
So, what is your stand on living together before marriage? Are
Don't do
you
it.
in or out?
Do not do it.
Don't do it.
Do not do it. If the guy wants to marry you, he would have married you already.
Amen.
He doesn't have to give a flamboyant wedding. Go to the courthouse. If he
Absolutely.
wants to marry you, he will marry you. The
Okay.
cohabitation wouldn't change a damn thing. If he doesn't want to, he will not. John
Right.
Cena was living with a girl, one of the wrestlers. He was living with a girl for over 10 years. And he kept saying, I don't want a child, I don't want a child. And she kept saying, I want a child. Not like women, we have this thing like, oh, we're going to make him change his mind. No,
Yes, you do
you
that. You do
cannot
that.
change the mind of no grown man. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
She moved on, had a baby with some other person. He got married 6 months after.
Yes, that's what they do.
It's
They
that
always do
simple.
that.
He
It wasn't
wants
just
you to
meant to be
leave.
you.
Yes, it wasn't you. They know who they will marry.
Yes.
They know who they will marry. So the
Thank
best
you.
thing for you to go and get yourself together. You cannot give what you don't have. If you get married, and most importantly, there are people that are married, but they are single in their marriage. That's another touch on its own. That's a whole different, like the thing is, like when you hear the stories of some marriages, I'm not saying like there are people that got it right.
Yeah.
Okay. But the majority, if you hear their stories, you will thank God for your singleness.
Yeah.
I don't have anything
Absolutely.
against marriage. I'm not married yet. I refuse to settle.
Yeah.
Okay. This thing you were saying about the caller from Nigeria about being assertive, very few men can stand it. I am very, very
Yes.
assertive. And when the people go like, oh, you have to act like a girl, I'm like, for what?
We
My
can
dad
tell.
raised me to have a voice.
Yes.
But
Just
it
speaking to you alone, I can tell that you are assertive. Yeah.
it separates the men from the boys. So like I don't have to deal with any drama. From day one, I will know. So I wouldn't waste your time. Don't waste mine either. But we have to raise our girls differently. We do. We have to raise our girls differently. There is going to be pressure from the society. It happens. People were telling me that your expectation is, I'm like, it's not too high. It's very simple. I believe
Yeah.
I'm simple. And then
Because
the
you don't
moment
want
I
to
stepped
settle.
out of that, I hit rock and I ran back. Now nobody says nothing to me anymore. So
Did
like
you
you
try?
have to know yourself.
Did you try to settle and it didn't work?
Yes, the person really tried to love everything about me, but then the thing is like you don't go by what they say, you go by what they do.
Yeah.
You go by what they do, because if you pay attention, the signs are always there. Always,
Absolutely.
the signs are always there.
Absolutely.
So like, do not know yourself and don't settle. Money,
Absolutely.
anybody can make money. Anybody can make money as long as you're ready to apply yourself. Anybody can make money, but like peace is unnegotiable. Like, do not hide who you are just so you can get married, because you're going in for like lifelong suffering. Like when I say lifelong suffering, I have friends who are married and I shake my head every single day. Yes, because like what is the point? What are you doing? Mortgage, you're doing everything for the kids. Like, what is he doing with his money? Like, he doesn't work. What is the
Thank
point?
you. Thank you, Sweet Pea. Really appreciate talking to you. Have a good afternoon. God bless you. Please call us again. I love everything you said. Yeah, it is what it is. You need to know yourself. Know yourself and be true to yourself. Whatever makes you sleep at night. When I talk about money here, people say, I always say that making money is easy. Okay. Compare money. She just said it now. Sweet Pea said it. Compared to your peace and money, you will know that it is well. Okay, film girl, I'm gonna take you. Then we'll come to man of prestige to end the show. Hey, film girl, kilo ashele you just jumped. You've been jumping off and on. I think you are not at home. Maybe your internet. Okay, if you can come back. But let me take Ola, man of prestige. How are you? Guys, remember to like this video. Give us a thumbs up. Ola, can you hear me?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry about
Hey,
that. So sorry about
that's all
that.
right. That's all
Yeah.
right.
How
How are
you
you?
doing? I'm good.
I'm
Oh,
good.
to be. How are you?
Are you watching football? Why am I hearing football noise in the background?
Football, can no. If
You
it's,
are
I
watching
don't.
football, lah.
No, I'm not. I'm disconnected from soccer. I've been disconnected from soccer for 25 years. I'm not.
Kilo day. You don't watch football.
Oh, not Genie. Oh,
You
not
are
Genie.
calling it soccer. You are so American. Why you calling it
Exactly.
soccer?
Exactly. You see,
Oh
I
my
dey call on
God.
soccer. If
Not
I dey call on
football.
soccer, that's
It's
how you
soccer.
know.
Soccer bikini. It's soccer bikini.
Soccer, new
It's
soccer.
football. Okay. Welcome.
Soccer is sono. Yeah, but I'm paying attention to what they're saying, but no, I am Americanized a bit too much. So,
I can
but
see.
yeah, so this topic, the cohabitation. Hey, so this is the age we're in, where ladies are advocating for cohabitation. Is this where we are right now?
Well, I don't know. It depends on who is talking.
No. No, first of all, Americans, many Americans, like much more than we would like to admit to, still believe in the family structure, particularly to marriage, okay? Particularly to the traditional marriage standards. But yes, the truth is that a lot of things are changing, and a lot of it is response to people that are still stuck on old school way of doing marriage. People that think a woman should just stay in the kitchen and that's it. If you can't think deeper than a woman in the kitchen, then you probably will have a problem with marriage. So that doesn't mean women still don't love to go into a kitchen and cook for their husband and cater to their family. That's not what that means. It just means if you're running your mouth and you think that's some kind of expectations, you're probably going to fall yakata very soon.
Yeah.
But it's a part of what I'm hearing is also another form of the response to maybe men that still continue to promote these oppressive ways of traditional marriage, right? That's what I'm hearing. But most of the women that I know around me, they love the idea of falling in love with a person that will pop the question. They love the
Right.
fairy tale of all of that. It's still not normal in my circle. I'm being honest. In my circle, the people I know in church, around professional life, these people most of these people, they still say "huh" when they see somebody pop a question.
Yeah.
That's the reality, of my own world. It's only when I get into the internet that I start to they hear uh anytime we talk about marriage, you hear, oh, but marriage is not for everyone. We didn't say
It's
it was for.
overrated. Marriage
Yeah.
is overrated.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. That wasn't the topic. The topic was cohabitation.
Yeah.
The topic was, hey, you like Kiriwa, you like Bola, and you want to live with a person and be doing it, but you don't want to do it the proper way. That's the
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
topic is not for people who don't like men, or people who don't like marriage, or people who don't like long term relationships, right? That's not what the topic is for. There are people like that. There are exceptions. There are minority. They exist. That's true. But if you saw this topic, living together before marriage, and you clicked into it, there's a good chance that you value long-term relationships, particularly
Or you are coming to
marriage.
oppose it.
Or there's something that's making you want to oppose it.
Yeah.
There's some resentment behind the scene on that. Or okay, let me give some room. You want to recruit people into your own world. Maybe you're making some kind of money doing that. There are people like that too, you know. But let's be honest, majority of people, including men, most men are lover boys. They like the fairy tale of getting with the person and doing life with that person long term, right? So if internally we know they are like that, we're not doing ourselves a favor by continuing to tell ourselves lies. Somebody said earlier, they said, some people just like baby mama, baby fathers these days. Majority of them, they end up in it by mistakes because at the end of the day, they still want to connect, be in love with the person, and they're telling themselves these lies. Then they get pregnant, and then they try to justify it and normalize it. So let me just tell you something. Like I said earlier, if you're going to create new standards, get ready to create new rules. There's a reason why there's some guidelines in place for how we move, and it's a function of time. What we know today that people follow is something that has adjusted over time. It's not perfect, but it's been adjusted over many generations, right? Based on what works, based on the cornerstone of society. The family structure is what creates good society. If you're going to create new rules, if you're going to create new standards, also be
Create
ready
the
to,
guidelines.
yeah,
Yeah.
back it up with guidelines.
We need guidelines and rules of engagement.
Yes, we should back off of the everybody should do whatever they want. I understand the context, but we need to slow down on that because some people, remember I tell you, they take your own little worry. You didn't mean it to be a worry. They will take it to another level. When you tell people do whatever they want, it's not good. I understand where it's coming from that people should do what they love and what they like, but I'm telling you, there's the dark side of that. And you don't want your own children or the people
Yeah.
that you are raising or mentoring to end up
Yeah.
on the dark side of that. You
And
know?
we're not even looking at, raising children in this kind of, environment or what it can lead to. We're
Yeah.
not looking farther the line like that, that, okay, if we say marriage is overrated, marriage is old school, are you looking at the consequences of what you can create long term?
Exactly. Exactly. Like we're not listen. If you want to, I heard a few ladies earlier. Many of them, spoke very eloquently. I'm okay with being by myself. Well, one thing we know as a default, studies show that most people are social beings and they enjoy life in relationships with other people. Not only love life, even work life, even professional life. We enjoy working in a group of team to an extent. Not everybody loves team, but you want to be able to mingle with other people in one way or the other. Nobody likes like some isolated silos where you're not connected, like you're living in a cave. That's at least that's not the way we're socially constructed. So but we can tell ourselves those lies as long as we want. You see, last the truth will come out, right? It's undefeated, right? Because at some point you're gonna end up sleeping with somebody, then you end up with a baby. Now you're not going to be alone for the next 18 years as much as you love to be alone. The real truth will come out, either you like it or not. For the most of us, not everyone, but I have a very, very high feelings that the people that don't want this, they're not in this room. The people that are here would like to do it the right way, but sometimes they end up in a situation that's a mistake, and then they continue to try to justify it. No, let's say it's what it is, right? Sometimes you end up being a single mother, a single father. You are a human being at the end of the day, right? But if you're going to now be intentional and become a grown person, a woman, a man of a certain age, understand that there are things that guide the way the society is. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank
Yep.
you so much. Honor prestige. Ring yes or no?
Yes, so. Àti bí iṣẹ́ ọmọ èèyàn tó ń jẹ́ Derrick Jackson.
Momo, I'm hearing now. I'm just looking. One bad divorce. Kilo shele. I thought he was the one that was always talking about marriages and all that. Momo, I used to follow him until he cheated. I can't follow.
So
But
you
why
used to
cheat?
follow him. So you were one of
I
the
used
women
to
that
follow
follow
him.
him.
Oh yeah, I'm one of the women that used to follow him. When I saw that he cheated, money egba mi, kini gbogbo eléyìí ń sìn. So I say lórí irọ́ ni. All this plenty talk lórí irọ́. It's just
Right.
for social media. They say he's divorcing.
No, yeah, he just announced his divorce some few hours back.
But the
But
wife didn't leave him when he cheated. So what happened now? Did something else happen?
that woman seems like something is off with her. Some few
When
weeks
she used to
ago,
tie her head, self used to make me wonder.
yeah,
When
something
she used to
is
wear that bonnet on her head in all the videos.
yeah, something is off with her. I think Derek Jackson has done a very serious damage on that woman,
So that's
and
all.
yeah, well, we'll be reviewing it in about 90 minutes. I'll do a live show around that. We'll review
All
the whole
right.
story. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
yeah, but I didn't know you were one of the people that made him popular. But
I did though. I'm not gonna lie because you said what I wanted to hear. You know, women we're moved by what we hear. Anything
thank
we
you,
hear, we take it in.
thank
We're moved by
you.
what. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was feeling him seriously. I was like, oh my god, why can't Daddy Wa be like more like this man now? Torí Ọlọ́run.
Ha gbèsè lórí irọ́. Anyway,
Can you say something? See, Daddy Wa is doing. Why can't you, look at this man now? What this man? Nah, I didn't know that.
yeah, I always say let's all be guided. All of us, we need to be guided. Whatever it is that we believe so strongly, there is a downside to
I
it.
felt
So,
for his sweet mouth. Oh,
yeah.
Adewale, I felt the guy can talk. He was saying all the things that we women wanted to hear. Lori Irani. Oh my
Yeah,
show. Well, I'm
yeah.
gonna join you on that show. I'm not watching this England football pussy. I'm not watching because if they lose today, Everybody in this house, they will face me as if I'm the one that made them lose. So I'm not the one.
Come on, oh, come on. I'll drop the
I'm
link.
telling
Let's talk
you.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come on. You guys, let's join Ola for that show. I'll post the link here. If you're not subscribed to Man of Prestige, please let's join Ola. Let's hear. I saw a show you did, Ola, the other day. You were
Which one?
talking about about your dad. I think that's one of your best video I've ever seen.
Oh, really? That's the one with I talked about Yola Doche and his dad, right?
Yeah, you started with Kilo Rukoba. What is
Pete Edoche. Pete Edoche and
No, you started
which
with
one?
Mama. That Mama that said that can your marriage survive?
Oh, Mama Esther Ajayi, Benny.
Can your marriage
Yes.
survive?
Yes, that was a good show. That was a good show.
And she said, God will forgive you, Auntie.
Mama ain't funny baje. Mama ain't funny baje.
God don't feel sorrow, God. The way she was saying,
Yeah.
she that say you want to go abroad. Aisha, my husband, I went to the kitchen and I said to my husband,
Me. So ti photo. She was funny. She was funny. She was funny.
I was like, Mama, yeah, calm down. Please calm down.
Yes, that video I would definitely suggest that everyone, men and women, go back and watch that video because it was easy to judge that woman very quickly.
No, but she was right.
Yeah.
I saw how
You have to be careful.
You were completely good with that analysis. She started from a point of saying, can your marriage survive? And she started breaking it down. Why
she was holding the men? She was actually holding the men accountable.
Yeah,
but it didn't look like that in the beginning.
The women cannot bring on me shower me for in the abroad because
our case is okay. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, Auntie B. Thank you always for your support. I will always be supporting you, of course. This is one of the blessed platforms.
Subscribe to Man of Prestige. You will learn a thing or two. Ola always has a master class. I want to Ola, please don't be breaking it down a little bit. You go and take you.
Emma Damilon.
I really like that. You're speaking it before it was you were you both you. Break it down.
I'm paying attention to the audience. In fact, I did a video where I talked about what questions you should ask her on a first date. And one of the ladies came in the comment and that really touched me. And she said, do one for us too. For what questions should we ask on a first date? And I was like, so that one is ready right now. Maybe by Tuesday we will do that one live.
Your grammar is too much. I'll break it down to people who don't understand grammar.
We will break it down. We will speak Yoruba and Pidgin and all of it in between. I'm seeing. Easy. But yeah, Obodooyinbo fams, you guys are the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ola. We appreciate you. God bless
you. We'll talk soon.
Please subscribe to Man of Prestige. The link is in the comment section to subscribe. He makes a whole lot of sense. He's always, advocating for both men and women. I like the way Ola still maintains the bro code, but he's always speaking because he's married and, so he can see it from both angle, what works and what doesn't work. A lot of people are saying too much English. Somebody says you speak too much Igbo. It's not a language that you understand that you speak. How is he going to speak Igbo? Does he understand Igbo? Wadi, you are a troublemaker. You like Wahala too much. How is he going to speak Igbo? Does he understand Igbo? Okay, guys, we've done 3 hours. This is supposed to be Gistmas. Gistmas is not supposed to be more than 1 hour. But I do appreciate that this conversation is long. And thank you so much, everyone who contributed, those who called in, and those who have been in the comment section. God bless you. Whatever your stance, like Jala said, make sure you are going to come out smiling. Okay? But as Africans, as Nigerians, please do not let us lose ourselves, especially those of us who are parents in the diaspora. Don't feel like you are too westernized now that, Mobito Tiwa. No. We come from somewhere. There are things that bind us together as a people. There are values, cultural, traditional, religious things that we need to hold on to. Please, Don't be too Americanized or Britico that you forget where you come from. Oh. Yorùbá ní rántí ọmọ ẹni tí ìwọ ń ṣe. So there are some values that are important to us. Marriage is one of them. And I'm so glad that, some of us still remember. England is losing. Hey, Jesus is Lord. Okay. So England is going home now. Dodoshi, you just told me now. England want daddy why is going to be. Everybody will be sad. How many minutes do they have less? I'm not even good. I don't want to know. Why you people still bringing football here? I run from football. You still bringing football here? Hey, by me. Some people will cry in this house today if England loses. It is well. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. I hope you're enjoying Gistmas. Please give us a thumbs up. Appreciate you. Please subscribe, like, follow Man of Prestige. The link is in the comment section. And I appreciate you. I love you guys. And I will see you tomorrow. We are talking about Orisha Jeff for tomorrow. Daddy Gio. So there's this big man of God in Nigeria, one of the founders of the Pentecostal movement in Nigeria, who his marriage has reportedly crashed. We are talking about him tomorrow. And I'm going to be looking at it from an angle that is different from, what you might expect. People are saying that, but yeah. His name is Pastor Ayo Orisha Jeffo. We're going to look at it tomorrow. So be here tomorrow, 7 p.m. We'll look at it. Let's look at it. When the marriage ends, especially for a man of God, somebody who is well respected, an elderly man, one of the founders of the Pentecostal movement in Nigeria, what does it mean? We are also going to be, looking at the way Nigerian Christians always think that pastors are not humans, that they are Jesus, that they are God. No, but we are going to be looking at it. A lot of people said in the last show that we did that pastors are representatives of Jesus, or they are representative of God, whatever, but they are human. They are human. So his first wife passed away from illness. Then he married the second wife like 13 months later. Catch the full gist tomorrow. Let me not give you everything, but there's a lot to learn from this. Okay? Yeah. Thank you so much. Be here tomorrow, 7 p.m. Like, subscribe, and please give us a thumbs up. I appreciate you. I love you guys very much. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Let's talk about, Daddy Gio and Mommy Gio. Let's unpick this. Bumi, you want me to sleep this night? France is going to score another goal. Jesus Christ. I'm a ring call. Is England coming home? Okay. I'm going now. Odabo, Eshe Goni. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks to all my callers. I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye, guys. Love you. Bye.